Oh man, yo, not the diddler.
Nigga, I've been seeing them call him that shit all week. A fucking diddler.
Facts.
And I think it's infinitely more. I think it's less offensive to say no Diddy than to say no homo, because no Diddy comes with a whole bunch of other shit, yo. Like it's not even just what like half of what they're also accusing you of fucking sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? What the fuck? No Diddy.
It's still more important.
Yeah, I would say orders of magnitude more important than whatever his preference is. Like the fuck, and that's a part about all this that's kind of annoying me, because people are mixing those two in. What up, Biddy? People are mixing those two in, and no, it's him being potentially gay. Sean P. Him being potentially gay doesn't mean anything. That doesn't. I don't care about that. I don't care.
Am I low?
Yeah, you're a bit low. Or you sound. Is your mic on?
Yeah, it was just low.
Oh, okay. But yeah, him being.
This is my first time using my mic.
Wait a minute, since you moved?
Yeah.
Damn. There's a little delay too. It's a little. Ain't nothing real big. I don't know. You'll figure it out. Everything will get warmed back up.
Yeah, at some point, right? Yeah,
get warmed back up. Wow. Yeah, I think that's the thing that was annoying me the most. Motherfuckers conflating him potentially being gay with all the other shit that he's accused of. You know?
Hey man.
Hey.
No, facts.
I don't like
facts.
that. That has nothing to. You know how many other gay people are not doing that? The shit that he's being accused of, like
most.
Yeah, right.
The vast majority.
In fact, the majority of people that are doing the other things he's accused of present as married, middle-aged white men.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what the statistics say. But y'all, you know, we see you though. We see you. We know what this is. You trying to take it out on that community, because regardless of what the new professed tolerance is, at the core, you got a problem. What up, Random?
Facts. What up, Random?
And actually, what's happening, I think, with the gay community is starting to find out, is that shit never goes away. It's the same shit black people found out, right? The civil rights thing, and then doing the 70s, and you start seeing this more on TV and all this some shit. The sports figures was getting more respect, blah blah blah. All the stuff take place that motherfuckers want to take credit for the change in society, and then lo and behold, we see all these things creep back, all these sentiments creep back. They're not creeping back. They never went anywhere.
Facts,
right? And that's the same thing the gay community about to find out, or they find it out now. Right. All that talk of tolerance is just that. It's talk. Because the moment these motherfuckers get a chance to talk some shit on you about being you, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Without question.
So it's 11:03. Let's get the intro popping.
Okay.
To the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ.
You
a little slow right there. I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and
no,
we are just a couple of geeks. We are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Look, I told you it was a delay. There's a little delay. I don't know if it's me. Yeah. I purposely did that pregnant pause because I was expecting, you to come right in. I was like, oh, damn, they didn't come right in. All right, well. The infamous pregnant pause. Me and Sean learned that terminology, the pregnant pause, years ago, and we have been overusing it and overcorrecting for not knowing it ever since.
Come on now. I'm sure.
Yeah, man. But anyway, we are back.
Are we?
And look who it is. Look at his backdrop in whole new digs.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. That's absolutely the case. No, the delay is me. I have to. I'm still not finished, so
right.
That's really what it all is.
What? Hey, yo, Mike is ass, yo. Mike is ass.
Yeah, I don't have everything up and running yet.
What up, free thinker?
What up?
But I mean, I'm sure by next week, maybe the week after that, everything will be back to. He's got to get comfortable in his digs. He's gotta stretch out. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta get my sea legs.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. I remember when I first moved to this joint.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I didn't. Look. A lot of things had changed before I got here. So
right.
It was that plus the change in the environment, trying to figure out how I was gonna get the sound back the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then also there's places have your brain does weird things when you go into new spots when you're creative, and try to be comfortable creating again in just a new environment is difficult. For me, when I was doing the rapidy rap, really, really heavy, I would walk with the raps, right? I'd take the music in my headphones and walk for miles and miles. And a lot of the times I would finish the song or near finish the song before I got back, right? I just needed to tighten some screws up and shit like that. Well, I didn't even know where I could go at to do that anymore because it was a new neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So that bothered the fuck out of me. And you add that on to the fact that my family had changed. My mother-in-law had retired when we lived at the other place. So, and then my kids were no longer going to school. So I didn't have the house to myself for hours and hours to just do my shit, knock shit out, blah, blah, blah. So you had to find how the fuck are you going to do all this shit, right? How you going to keep doing this? You know what I'm saying? That shit is people underestimate that, but the shit is different, man. When I think for most people, since most people are creative in some way, but most people aren't creatives, right?
Right.
They don't understand the complexities and the nuance of what it takes to do that shit, right? And the level of comfortability that you need to be in a lot of times to get that shit off, to get the best you, right? The best you. So I know exactly what you're dealing with over there, 100%.
Oh, it's. All right, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
All right. So we have just one topic, if you will, because I absolutely cannot not say something about this particular situation.
I'm gonna say something.
I'm just listen. Well, Emmanuel Acho.
Boy, look. Nigga. What?
Let me read this article before I say some things that I would like to say.
I'm gonna say something. First of all, consent tight, nigga.
Yo, that's funny. I started calling him bless you. Like I swear I started calling. Anyway, Mary Acho issues audaciously ashy non-apology about Angel Reese, Bayou Barbie blast disrespect after cowardly comment. Manuel Acho's clownery continued as he responded to backlash for his cowardly dog comparison of Angel Reese by doubling down with a weak sauce word salad.
That's what people do now.
The WNBA-bound baller seemingly shaded Acho's disrespect as the internet dragged Acho's non-apology. Following a week on the Summer Jam screen, following a week on the Summer Jam screen for a failed gender-neutral and racially indifferent take on Angel Reese, Acho thanked fans and famous friends who, I wish I can't actually read this article the way it's written because there are certain things that just don't translate well when said out loud. But bruh, I wish I could. So basically, Acho thanked fans and famous friends who it says coddled and then that's scratched out, and it says respectfully reprimanded him, who took to X, formerly Twitter, to repetitively ramble about handling him with respect while defending his disrespect of Angel. Quote, I want to thank everyone who has respectfully reprimanded me and offered brilliant opinions on the Angel Reese conversation. I do not believe there is any one way to think about things, he said, name-dropping Ryan Clark and Essence Atkins for giving him feedback. I want just to applaud these publicly and privately who have respectfully, and the operative word there being respectfully, reprimanded me. The emphasis on respect is ironic considering Acho misrepresented Angel's comments to insult her while she discussed relentless harassment. When she did, quote, take it on the chin in an interview earlier this week, as Acho insisted, Angel accepted the, quote, villain role in opposition to Iowa's Caitlin Clark. She considered the false narratives a small sacrifice for growing women's basketball. Acho used this against Angel to justify racist and sexist dehumanizing and attacking her as a Black woman. That was the context of the All-Americans emotional post-game interview. Following teammates Flau'jae Johnson and Haley Van Lith praising Angel's unwavering strength and leadership through hate, a journalist asked Angel about the journey the public doesn't see. I just want to be clear about this. Acho, I'm not about to play that shit. Basically, he saw her up there crying and being vulnerable, and he basically said, well, you made yourself the villain. Nobody has sympathy for the villain, and blah blah this, and you wanna act grown, you wanna speak as if you're grown. You want to, and he said these words, and I'm really upset because I have not seen anybody of any report specify this part of what he said. Right, he said the words, you want to pose grown.
Yeah, he said pose grown.
What the fuck do you? Yo. Anyway, I'm sorry. Hold up. He said, where we? So after he said this, luckily, because obviously he wouldn't put this up, even if it wasn't directly contradicting what he just said. He wouldn't have posted it because it wasn't him. He was just posting himself. Directly after he said that, his co-host Joy Taylor said she didn't make herself the villain.
Right.
She showed up unapologetically herself in the same way that men do all the time.
He did the same shit I would have did. The moment somebody would have said to me or called me, I'd have leaned right into it. Yeah, that's right.
Watch your mouth.
Right.
Thanks.
Right.
Taylor also said that the hate Reese experiences is not the same thing as what everybody else is experiencing. Fact. Acho is even a hypocrite about Angel crying after a loss. In hindsight, she was probably more emotional about her teammates' kind words in the not yet announced end of her college career. Yeah. Either way, Acho didn't keep the same energy about USC's Caleb Williams crying. In November, Acho commended the authentic emotional health over fake toughness. Acho's response video invited willingness to listen to one another with zero self-awareness about how he ignored Angel's statements in his so-called analysis. No amount of quote, bad sportsmanship justifiably, quote, paints a target on one's own back for AI-generated porn and death threats. Because that's what fucking happened.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about Angel Reese having on a lingerie-looking outfit and people flirting in the car. That's not what the fuck she was talking about.
Right.
Social media had plenty to say about Acho's response to Angel into the chat as well. All right, that's it for that. Now, as I often do, I checked Higher Learning Podcasts. Because actually, I've already said on here there are several podcasts that I watch and I look for, and I want to see what their reactions are.
They're going to say, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The only one of which that I saw say anything about this yet is the Higher Learning Podcast, and I have to admit, I was scared for a second because Rachel knows Acho.
Both of them did. Why on that show?
No. Yes, when I say knows, I don't mean has been around. Like Rachel knows Acho, like personally knows Acho. Okay. I have, in all the time that I've been watching this podcast, I have never been more proud of Rachel. What up, Cindy? I have never been more proud of Rachel than what I saw her do to Acho. To the point where, because I told you they have this weird thing that they do where they don't know how to communicate with each other sometimes. But to the point where Van wasn't really expressing himself clearly, and it seemed like he was about to defend Acho in some way, and Rachel was like, "No, absolutely not.
We're not doing that."
Now, Van wasn't going to defend Acho.
No, but she just wanted to cut it off just in case.
Yeah, she went, Rachel dugging Acho's ass. I ain't even hold you. Like,
I gotta see it now because I haven't seen it yet.
Bruh, because of, like I said, you tend to see people kind of take it easy on people they know.
Yeah,
personally.
True.
And she was like, no, absolutely not. She said he is a repeat offender at this point. Like, this is weird. This is because she said somebody asked the question, can you separate Emmanuel Acho, the person, from the takes that he's making? And she said, at this point, he is the takes that he's making.
He is.
He does it so often that you can't possibly separate the two.
Right.
They brought up how the only time he goes viral, bruh. They brought up how the only time he goes viral, it's for talking shit about some black person.
Yep.
Every single time, without and it's. I hate his guts. I can effectively say, like, I really don't like him. Like in intense dislike, because in Rachel, again, I gotta give it to Rachel. She was in his ass, man. She was like, listen.
What I don't like though, I mean, I know Van wasn't going to defend him, but I don't like. One thing that bothers me is when something is demonstrably trash. I don't like when people attempt to offer some sort of thing in their rhetorical take on it, because it's like, yo, they don't need that. That's a big grown ass man who knows what the fuck he said out of his mouth, and he's gonna have to stand on it. He's going to stand on business.
There's no reason to parse.
That's all. There's no reason to parse none of that shit.
So, yeah, she went in. I didn't even. Because I was, like I said, I have never been more proud of Rachel than what I heard her say about her, and I don't know if they can be classified as this now, but at one point, friend.
Yeah.
So
the reality is, I saw people making the assest excuses for why they're trying to parse Caitlyn doing the "you can't see me" shit with Angel doing it. Some of the ways they're trying to parse how that's different shows you that it's not about that. Like, yo, that's nonsensical. Some of the excuses they're doing is nonsensical. The reality is you're reactionary and you reacted in a way that you have been conditioned to react. When you see somebody like us, and unfortunately, by the way, this happens within the community as well, because we've been conditioned by the same bullshit that the whole society has been conditioned by. The moment you saw somebody like her doing that, you instantly went on to see that's ghetto, that's this, that's that. Why'd you? It's conditioning, bro. Because I told you, I don't know really what's worse: the physical actions that took place in this country over 400 years, the deaths and the lack of access and the disrespect, or the attack on the PR, the public relations of our community, because that's longer reaching. That's stuff that is so subtle that's in people's heads, and it becomes shorthand. Oh yeah, of course, a black person did that, right? Of course, a black person. It becomes shorthand, and it's innocuous a lot of the times, right? Even if they don't say it, that's what they're thinking, right? Because they be conditioned to think, oh yeah, that's what I expect from that's what I expect from them, you know.
Yes.
Yo, I've been seeing so much of this cowboy shit since Beyonce. Yo, I've been seeing so much of that shit.
Thanks. All right, so I'm gonna play a little bit of this. You know, I can't play but so much because they're gonna try to take us down. But fuck, we might actually end up being taken down. But whatever.
Curious because we know later he posted a video about people he reached out to, and I was wondering if he reached out to you. Okay. Right. I was having this conversation with someone about this take of Emmanuel Acho, and we were talking about whether or not you can separate Emmanuel Acho as a person from this comment. At this point, I don't think that you can. Emmanuel Acho is a repeat offender. Right. To the point where whenever he seems to be given the opportunity to speak on behalf of, I'll just say Black women, he does so in this manner. Now, it's really disappointing to me as somebody who's known him because a lot of Emmanuel's notoriety outside of the sports world is because of uncomfortable conversations with a Black man. And I think I've said it on this podcast before that when that idea came about, it was something he talked to me about, and originally he wanted to do it together. I didn't do it. He did it on his own. And I say this because I was there when he was brainstorming it, and I was there and I heard his intention behind it. And I really thought it was beautiful. Like when he started off his first video, why he wanted to do it, you know, what he was observing in the world, and why he felt like he could give a response or a take that he hadn't quite seen yet. And I was like, go for it.
Lies. Never believe that.
Go from that in the beginning to where we are now. I'm confused and I'm really trying to understand what's happening. As uncomfortable conversations with a Black man has taken off and given him this attention in a way that I know he didn't expect when he started it, and an opportunity for him to monetize it in a way that I know he didn't expect for this to happen. There seems to have been this huge shift, in my opinion, in how he talks about Black people. And as I said, Black women. And I don't know if he is trying to pander to a specific audience or if he's doing this because he wants to seek attention however he can get it, or if it's some kind of mixture at both. But at this point, this is who Emmanuel Acho is. And I don't care if he backs it up with a second tweet. I don't care if he's talked to 5 prominent Black people who have respectfully given their opinion. You continue to do this despite the backlash and you know, people telling you how wrong it is, because this isn't the first time it happens, and yet you still do it. And him coming out and tweeting it again, and then, like I said, defending himself in the comments, him going on Twitter and saying that he has defended Angel Reese before, and he puts out there these receipts that he's showing all the times he's defended her, which I think were like twice. It felt to me like a "see, I have black friends" too comment. He defends his comments. It does. He defends his comments also by saying that he's this analyst and that it's his job to give an analysis, but his analysis is ineffective because, as multiple people have already pointed out, you can't talk about black women and have a gender neutral and racially indifferent take. You don't get to preface your analysis by stating that we're historically the most, black women are historically the most disrespected people in this country or marginalized people in this country, and then proceed to disrespect black women in your take. It's like you're proving the original point. You don't get to quote Malcolm X and then show that you have this lack of understanding of how black women have to navigate this world.
Listen, you gotta watch.
It was the shirt.
You gotta watch that whole segment.
It was the shirt. It was the shirt. You know what I'm saying? That shirt had a lot to do with that. That shirt did a lot of that right there, bro. I'm gonna check it out. That shirt did a lot of that. I'm telling you.
Yo, and the part where she jumped in when Van was talking, like, no.
Like, no, we're not letting you.
I'm like, oh.
So first of all, let me say, shout out to Rachel for having the right take on that. Because listen, it's not often that, I mean, you know, that she does. But that is 100% it.
And more than her specifically, like I said earlier, people tend to defend their people.
They do.
And she did not do that.
No, quite the opposite. I will say this about some of it. So what I need for people like Rachel to do in the moment before all this goes down is just have a little bit of awareness preemptively. Those conversations, when you start having a conversation with a nigga, he talking about, I want to do a show called Uncomfortable Conversations with the Black Man. Have some societal awareness because that never goes well. I'm here to tell you, in most of these cases, where these motherfuckers do that, they eventually start parroting white supremacist, anti-black notions.
Yeah,
and like I've never seen a situation where that when they start saying it's time for us to tell the truth, it always veers into that because, unfortunately, way too many of us have ingrained in us that we need to be put in our place.
Yeah.
Way too many. And I know where it come from. These were the same ideas back in the slave quarters. Well, you wouldn't have got beat by massa if you hadn't tried to get away. He's being kidnapped and in many cases sex trafficked. And you're telling him you wouldn't have got beat up if you didn't try to get away from it. Right? Like a lot of that is still ingrained, right? And as much as we try to deny it, like you don't get rid of those societal traumas overnight or through the passages of laws and shit like that shit. Nah, because that mentality is passed down until the point where it becomes an axiom. Like, oh no, this is just that's why I don't like, one of the reasons I don't like appeals to common sense. Because a lot of that is cultural. It's common sense to us here because of the culture here. But if you live someplace else, and that's also why common sense is a logical fallacy. That's why. Yeah,
common sense is dumb.
Exactly. So this is part and parcel to me of that. It's conditioning and shit. The moment you hear your friend say to you, I'm gonna do a show, well, I'm gonna tell uncomfortable truths about, trust me, it's gonna be some marginalization.
Cut that shit out.
Stop it. All right. Nah. Just instead of focusing your shit on uncomfortable conversations, just focus it on conversations and let it go where it may. The moment you start you start that shit off with that, I automatically know where it's headed. I know where it's headed.
Yo, because the very fact that you use the adjective uncomfortable,
yes,
is a form of coddling.
Yeah.
Because you're forewarning.
That's exactly what you're doing.
There's no reason to do that if we're supposed to be having this conversation in good faith. Right.
Exactly. You played your hand.
If we're supposed to be having this conversation in good faith, it should not have to require that particular caveat. Like, what do you mean?
Just have the conversation,
be that uncomfortable, bro.
Just have a conversation. That means your intention is to say inflammatory shit. Your intention is to attempt to agitate a community. And I don't know what y'all get from that other than a bigger audience of people outside your community. But I don't know what you think you're getting from doing that. That like do you not think we've been agitated enough? So when they was blowing our babies up in churches and shit, you don't think that was enough of agitation right there?
Right.
And they was killing the social leaders and shit. You don't think that wasn't agitated enough? The lack of access, proper education, lack of access of financial opportunities for years, so much so to the point where we could not acquire widespread generational wealth. You don't think that was agitating enough? No. On top of that, I'm gonna tell you niggas about yourself. Come on, man. Like seriously, like that shit whack. Now I have an expectation of people outside our community doing that shit. I do. It's expectation. All right, they're about to do this shit. But I'm trying to figure out what you get out of it that would make this a moral stand. Because I don't think that's what that is. I don't think that's a moral stand. Just say we're about to have conversations. We're gonna talk about everything. Just say that, and then in the process of having a conversation, if things get uncomfortable, well, it is what it is, right? But the fact that you're starting off with that tells anybody that's actually listening that you're trying to agitate. You're trying to agitate. You want to say things that's gonna get this in a situation. And like I said, again, you do that. That's not a moral stand. Because all the things that girl had to deal with, because she, instead of her cowering when the media said something to her, she stood on business. And then she got all kinds of hate shit. All kinds of hate shit from all kinds of people and death threats and shit like that. So you think what you're doing is putting her in her place. That's what they thought they was doing. That's what her enemies thought they was doing. Putting her, we're gonna put you. How dare you be competitive in a competitive sport? How dare you show some adrenaline and some yes, we're gonna do this. Bro, listen, I defy any of you to go on any basketball court in Los Angeles, any basketball court in Baltimore, especially on the east side, any basketball court in New York. See a motherfucker make a dunk. See what they do. See a motherfucker make an outside shot. See what they do. See a motherfucker break somebody's ankles. See what they do.
Facts.
The fuck out of here. That's part of sports. Bro, we saw Serena wigging out. She playing tennis. She playing the Kings tennis.
Up there crip walking.
After a good what?
Facts.
What? That's part of the competitive spirit that anybody that ever played sports. I don't care if you played organized sports or just you and your friends around the block got a quick pickup game of a fucking football, or like we used to call it back in the day, bone ball, because niggas ain't had no pads, so bones could be broke out this motherfucker, and many times they were. but even then, we're on the field not getting paid a dime for taking these bruises, getting speared like Goldberg, getting power bombed into the dirt. We ain't getting paid a dime. We got no sponsorship money. Nobody's doing shit. And when we do something that's crazy out there, we are celebrating. and talking mad shit to each other. That's the nature of what the competitive spirit is. It is what it is. Humans are toxic as fuck.
Oh,
Humans are toxic as fuck. And when we do some big shit that helped us get the upper hand on an opponent, we're gonna do our Iggy shuffle. We're gonna do our Iggy shuffle. Like, what are you talking about? And that's all she did. That's all she did was display that. And I guess because what, she's a young woman, she's not supposed to have the competitive spirit. Y'all gotta stop putting women, first of all, women, specifically women, y'all gotta stop putting women in these boxes, B. These little boxes that y'all done made up. Like, y'all built the box that you putting them in. Y'all built it. And the moment they stray outside of your expectation of them, you talking shit. Oh, and then add the extra layer of melanin, and now it's she ghetto. Let me explain something to y'all. And I can't speak for current times because neighborhoods change. Areas change over the course of time. When I was growing up, Randallstown wasn't considered the hood, bro. It wasn't. But if you're not from this area, you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that. We didn't consider Randallstown the hood. Well, I'm from fucking Emerson Village. Trust me, we did not consider Randallstown the hood. We didn't. And I know people from there, right? From that grew up in that area. So that's the other thing that annoyed me is people talk about her in a way y'all don't know her for real. You know her through basketball.
Right.
You know her through basketball. Y'all don't know her. She damn sure did, DJ. She damn sure did.
Oh, thanks.
She came from a Crip neighborhood.
Thanks.
They probably learn how to crip walk before they can crawl and shit.
Thanks. Thanks.
Man, I got on my last nerves last week, boy.
Man, fuck Acho. Achu.
Cause I'm tight.
Whatever that nigga want to call himself. Man. Anyway, so
no, wait, hold up. Before you go on to the next story, we ought to do a spin-off podcast called Agitating Black People. Just say it. Just say it. Right? Just say it.
Nigga.
Right? Agitating Black people. Shit. Just say it.
Facts. I say it with you.
Right. That's a hell of a callback too, right there. That's a hell of a callback.
Yeah, we just we're at the week.
So,
Boom.
I know you got plenty because
I got some stuff. I
know you do. So a couple of things I have over here, but I'm pretty sure it's not as all encompassing as your stuff. So, my son. Well, before I start there, I want to publicly say on the platform, give a happy birthday tribute to my brother. It was his birthday.
Yes.
He would have been 58 years old. My man, Tennessee Lonnie. Right? So I want to do that first and foremost. And then to add, a lot of stuff has happened this week.
Also official happy birthday to sis.
Oh, hell yeah. Official happy birthday to Marissa. Official. So my son went on a trip, came back with COVID.
Goodness.
And this is my public service announcement to you guys. You're going to hear a lot of things. Unfortunately, the information age inevitably turned into the misinformation age. Because the reason they called it the information age in the first place is because access to be able to disseminate information faster than at any time in human history. But because humans are human,
not accuracy.
Facts. That what accompanies that is misinformation, right? There are going to be people that are telling you that the quote unquote pandemic is over, you still can get sick out this motherfucker. All right? Stop playing. You still can get sick out this motherfucker. Now, fortunately for my son, we went to Panama. Y'all took booster shots. So it's coming off to him like a cold. It's a cold, you know. He's not going to end up on a ventilator. He's not going to end up fucked up in the game. Hopefully he won't have long COVID from it.
Right.
But he was boosted, so it did at least part of what its intention is supposed to be. It's like, hopefully it'll keep you from getting it, period. But if not, it'll keep you from being bad, like fucked up. That happened. So on two fronts, I know it's a bunch of misinformation out there they're going to smack you in the fucking face with. Oh, it ain't like that no more. No, it's still like that. It's still like that. And secondly, yeah, the vaccine helps. It does. All right. That's that. There is, the second thing is, there is absolutely, and I knew this at the time. We said it at the time. There is absolutely nothing that I can do short of stringing the cat up on a damn leash to keep that motherfucker from scaling the walls of my encampment. Nothing. I have tried everything. And the moment I step out of the room and he has a mind to, he's going to make the attempt and many times succeed to get over the encampment. Now, I had thought of many other things that I could potentially do. I could dig a moat and put some crocodiles and shit in the water. But then I had to think about the logistics of that. So that's not going to work. I can put a giant alarm so that every time he touches, it's touch sensitive. Every time his paw hits my desk. But then I had to think about the logistics of that.
Yeah.
I could go and buy a Komodo dragon, have him chained to my desk. But then I had to think about the logistics of that. So there's nothing really I can do about it currently. The only thing I'm going to do instead is buy a tarp. Cover my shit up with the tarp. This keeps the dust from off of it when I'm not using it. And if the cat does get over here, it's not knocking a bunch of shit down. He's not doing, all that goofy shit. That's the most...
Sir.
What?
Sir.
I'm talking about options.
A Komodo dragon.
They eat cats.
A Komodo dragon. They eat anything. It's going to eat your computer. And you. The fuck?
You don't know that. What up, Ken?
And that's my big lizard of choice. However, I know enough not to be associated physically with one.
Look, I saw a video of a guy with a pet one, and it was fine.
Sure. I can show you a video of a horse with a cone on its head, but that don't mean
it's a unicorn. Yo, Mike's just a scale puppy.
No, not at all. Again, I have, how we've talked throughout the time of this show on my random knowledge of animals. This one isn't random. Komodo dragon used to be still is my favorite lizard.
Mine too.
No.
That's not a good idea. That's a good idea, Cindy, to make a spray device that's motion activated. That's a good idea. But again, I gotta think about the logistics of that. Because there's a couch over there and it's gonna get all wet out. And in order for the spray to be effective, this cat's hard-headed. It needs force behind the spray. It can't be some mist. That They ain't gonna do shit. That ain't gonna do shit for him. Like
fire hose.
Fire, yeah. You need one of them 1964 fire hoses that you would see on all those black and white footage of the civil rights marches. You need one of them motherfuckers to keep his ass back. Right. But that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with a tarp and just, I need to do something to keep the dust off my shit anyway. So that's what I'm gonna do. In a somewhat more, well, I don't know if it's more, but it's a rather annoying note. As you can see by well, you could see if the weekend review thing wasn't up there. I'm really tired of y'all. Y'all make me so sick. So it's no secret. A few years back, I made a center point of my content to be geek culture because I've always loved geek culture. I was a member of that from the time I guess I was 8. I started reading comic books then, right? And I hear a lot of the sentiment now about just a lot of whining. And it's like, you know why? This is the reason geek culture has become kind of tiring to me. It's not the content. I don't have superhero fatigue. I've been reading about superheroes and watching their exploits in cartoons since I was 8. So why would I be fatigued after seeing some movies and TV shows that many of your spoiled, entitled asses have only had for a much shorter time? Also, these complaints, it's funny because you could just not watch. Right?
You could.
They didn't stop making.
So it's an option.
Listen, they didn't stop making other types of movies and TV shows, despite what these certain goofy, over-the-hill, one-trick pony Hollywood directors had tried to convince you of. They were making all kinds of movies since 2008. Let's start at 2008. We had Iron Man. You know how many other movies came out that year? How many other different genres of movies that came out? You could just not watch the shit. Go watch something else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to hear about that when I go into a comic book group. Like, watch something else. The problem is the fandoms. Well, the alleged fandoms. See, the way I see it, right, there are 3 types of fans. There are subgroups between them, but these are kind of the dominant ones I see today. You have the ones that are the super fans and have read all about the source material and basically became slaves of it. So much so they can't stomach any changes at all. Despite if the change is demonstrably better for the new venue the shit's being shown in. Nope. They want page for page, panel for panel, and reproductions of all the books they read. Right? It has to be exactly word for word what was in the Phoenix Saga, or it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Then you got the other ones. These are the ones who they read the shit back in the day, but they haven't touched the comic book in years.
Right.
So they not updated on none of the changes or the evolution of the characters in the books. Now, these people can either be annoyed by the changes and complain about them incessantly, making nuisances of themselves, or they just enjoy the nostalgia and attempt to catch up. I like those guys, by the way. Those guys that do that, the ones that just, enjoy the nostalgia and they attempt to catch up with the shit because, oh, damn, I didn't know he was doing that now. I like that attitude. That's dope. That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's guys like me, people who never stopped reading comic books.
Pardon me, sir. There are no guys like you.
Hey, that Loki ass shit. or I've never stopped consuming like even comic book content of any kind. Because, I remember the drought in mainstream of any comic book crossover content. It was a drought for years. I'm the one that remembers what we had to be satisfied with while dreaming it could be better. In fact, I'm going to remind you, because some of y'all either don't know, won't show, or won't say what was happening in the hood. Like,
Yo!
That is the wrong screen, as it turns out.
You broke it.
Nah, I didn't break it. I just didn't bring it up. That's what happened. All right, let me try this again. May I remind you, just in case.
No. No, I'd rather not. I'd rather you not.
I'm just saying. Just saying. Hold up. My computer's spazzing the fuck out right now.
You broke it again. I'm the one that's supposed to have the issues.
I know. Yo, my shit has been acting crazy now for a couple of weeks. Like little artifacts and shit been all on my screen. Like, yo, yeah, and it started off slow, right?
Get your shit together, sir.
Hey, I think it's something else that's wrong, but you know, it is what it is. There we go. May I remind you?
Why?
May I remind you of what we had? This what we had, sir. Right here. See that? That right there. We had that. So I'm trying to really figure out. I'm really trying to figure out what y'all complaining about now.
You got Incredible Hulk and Thor at home. This is the Incredible Hulk and Thor at home.
Listen. I'm trying to figure out what they complain about, sir. This is what we got now. Well, excuse me, back then. Think about all we've gotten now in this newer era. And y'all still complaining? Y'all still fucking complaining. Now look, I'm the last one to tell you, you are perfectly within your right to say that a movie that wasn't good. Like, I don't get how people are criticizing people for just saying that the movie isn't good. If it ain't good, it ain't good. If the plot is bad, the plot is bad. But did you stop watching horror films because you went and saw one bad horror film? That's it. I'm done with the whole genre. Did you stop watching action films? Right? Simply because you saw how many bad action films did they make during the 80s and 90s? Holy. Still keep watching them. Now I'm going to give you examples of the things that pissed me off. So let's take the new X-Men 97 continuation series. Here's some of the criticisms I've seen of that. And some of y'all are downright delusional too. In the course of the show, references to other longer, larger, more expansive storylines that have occurred in the comic books are made either visually, verbally, or what have you. They allude to these other branches of the X-Men lore. The complaint I'm hearing is, I sure hope they do that storyline right there, because if they don't do that storyline, then somehow none of this is valid. Excuse me, sir / madam. They're only doing 10 episodes. They're only doing 10 episodes. And what's crazy about that complaint is they were doing the same thing in the original series. The original series from back in 97 would allude to these larger storylines that have taken place during the X-Men history. And
I think what it is Some of it is revisionist history.
Yeah.
Some of it is people who didn't actually watch the whole original run.
Facts.
And I think
Facts.
as much as I'll say this, as far as the X-Men themselves are concerned, as far as digital media,
right.
So TVs, movies, all that. The Phoenix Saga is single-handedly the most influential saga that exists. In the movies, they fucked it up twice.
Yeah.
In the show, it was one of the storylines that they actually really expanded on. And I think,
and by the way,
it makes people retcon.
That's what it is, bro. They retconned it because, first of all, when you watch the one from back then, and they did it, don't get me wrong, it was dope. I love to see it. I had read it in the comic books. This was not a one-to-one of the Phoenix Saga in the comic books. This was not a one-to-one at all. And guess what I didn't hear back then? That's why I said this is some new shit going on. Guess what I didn't hear back then? Well, how come it wasn't Colossus that fought Gladiator on the moon the way it was in the comic books? Why was it Rogue? Rogue wasn't. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Nobody said that, though. Back then, nobody said, like, yo, we getting the Phoenix Saga or a version of it.
Right.
Oh, this shit is hot. This shit is hot.
Thanks.
Nobody said that. It's this new shit, this new attitude, this new feeling of entitlement that a lot of these people have, or they just want to fucking complain. The next thing on that list, because only got those two things, that one and this. Fairly recently, they made an announcement about the Fantastic Four. A full transparency. I've never really been a big fan of the Fantastic Four. I was a fan of the supporting characters around them that came as a package of their lore. Galactus, Silver Surfer, all of those things, the Negative Zone, Annihilus, all of those things. I was a fan of those things. But the group itself, they was always meh to me. And yes, I get it. Look, I'm a geek. I get it. They are the first family of the Marvel universe. First family. They are the archetype. The smart guy on the team. They got somebody that can fly, that shoot projectiles, and they got the big strong man, and they got the other invisible woman type thing that has a power set that looks lame at first, but when you explore how she could actually use the shit, oh no, it's powerful as fuck, right?
Thanks.
Dr. Doom, exactly, Mike. Like, I was always a fan of the trappings around them, supporting characters around them, the villains around them, more so than them. So I saw people posting. Ermigan! They turned Silver Surfer into a woman! Floating all around the place. Not on my timeline. And then people going into these think pieces about, see, this is the problem. Disney needs to give Marvel away and sell it to somebody else, this, that, third. You know what's funny about that? This completely excludes all the good shit that being associated with Disney has done for the Marvel brand.
All thanks.
Because you see this. And what you're seeing is not even what you think you're seeing. You're being reactionary. Because when you dive into what they're doing, you have to come to an understanding of the context of their content thus far. Not what you saw in the comic books, but from 2008 to now. There's nuances in there for the reason they're doing certain things. And the thing you think they're doing, they're not doing, right? They're not doing. But you're reactionary because you got this whole other agenda over here on this side that this somehow conflates with, and you're using this to support that. First and foremost, Marvel did not have control of all of their characters or movie rights for all of their characters starting in 2008. They did not have X-Men, none of the Fox one. None of the Fox one. They ain't have it. Not the movie rights. So they had to do what they had to do in order to still do the movies that had the spirit of what they were trying to do without those characters. And it worked.
Mm-hmm.
It worked.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us was watching. So all of us should know the context with which why they're doing certain things now. You see, the Fantastic Four was the archetype. First family. They didn't have movie rights to them. So they had to do it a different way. So now they got to figure out a way to introduce the Fantastic Four into the lore. Not just them, but Dr. Doom, Silver Surfer, Galactus, all of these other things that come with the Fantastic Four. They have to find a way to do that and still be able to consistently answer certain questions. For instance, if Galactus was there the whole time, why ain't stop Thanos with that bullshit he was pulling? If the Fantastic Four was there the whole time, how come they ain't help with Thanos? If the X-Men were there the whole time, how come they ain't help with... These are questions that would be asked in the continuity of the lore because they didn't have control over these characters for movies. So they had to figure out a way to do it. And if you guys have been following my content for a while, remember a while ago on my old Reaper Legion channel, I did a video talking about it's all connected. And I did a whole thing about the multiverse. Anybody that's been reading comic books for as long as I have, or even not even as long as I have seen the multiverse aspect of comic books. This should not be a surprise. The whole What If series, which is old, by the way. That series is that's an old set of books. But back in the day, has been predicated on multiverse theory. So they could tell these other types of stories using these popular characters, and it wouldn't affect the ordinary continuity. How hard is that to understand? Not really that difficult at all, unless you got another agenda.
It shouldn't be. Right.
Shouldn't be that hard to understand that. I predicted in the video they were going the multiverse route. They went the multiverse route. So when you start explaining why they're doing what they're doing, no, they're not turning Norrin Radd into a woman.
Not at all.
That's not what's happening. In order to be able to introduce the Fantastic Four into the lore, they had to do it different than what it was done in the comic books. So the premise is they come from an alternate reality, from the past of that alternate reality, though. Like the past, where they had nowhere near the technology current MCU characters have. And in that reality, what it looks like they're doing is, since it's alternate, that reality, there was a Galactus. This Galactus had a Herald. It was Shala Ball, who is in the 616 continuity as well, but she didn't become the Silver Surfer in that one at that time. But in this alternate reality, she is. And there's a What If book. There's a What If book from way back in the day where that happened. Where it wasn't Norrin that made the sacrifice. It was her. They're using that, and they're probably going to get that Galactus to destroy their Earth, and they're going to save themselves by crossing over the existential tunnel of bleed space to get to another alternate block of reality, the MCU. Mm-hmm. Galactus probably going to follow them over there. Right? And maybe at some point Shala Ball will sacrifice herself, but it didn't work. And they destroyed that Earth. And they came their asses over here. And now Galactus is in our universe. Well, the MCU universe. He's going to need another Herald. And then they'll get a Norrin Radd from the mainstream continuity universe to become his Silver Surfer. So all that whiny bullshit that you motherfuckers have been doing, and again, they turn in Silver Surfer to it. That's not what's happening here. There were reasons why they had to do things. Now, were there other ways they could have done this? Sure. There's probably 100 different other scenarios. This is the one they chose because they're already in their multiverse bag, right? So they're doing it this way. but it's not what you thought it was, and you only reacted to that shit because you're a reactionary. And it goes along with another part of your agenda, your political agenda, that you think this somehow affirms. And it ain't even that. And y'all gonna keep getting your britches in a bunch over this shit over and over again because you're predictable. And of course, if I was Marvel, I'd play into it. Because we live in outrage culture. Elicit outrage to get engagement. Y'all do this shit all the time. Some of y'all favorite podcasters trade in that shit. Some of y'all favorite social commentators, they trade in that shit. I'm going to say something controversial or edgy, and people going to get mad, and I'm going to get all this engagement. And the algorithm going to point to me, and me too. So why wouldn't they do it? That's what y'all doing these days, right? Ain't that what the kids like to do now? They get up on a on some sort of social media live stream and say some anti-Semitic slur so they can get the backlash. And then get all ain't that what y'all kids do these days? Ain't that what y'all like to do? I know I'll get up there and I'll insult the marginalized community and shit. That's what I'll do. I'll go and do that shit because I know I'll get a bunch of views off of that. And there's a bunch of institutions that love me doing that sort of shit. So they'll pay me a grip to do it for them, especially when I become popular. They give me a whole bunch of money to talk shit about y'all. They make everything y'all fault. That's all y'all fault. It was nothing that ever happened to y'all that wasn't y'all fault. Right? And then what y'all do now? So they feed. So guess what? Disney feed into the same shit, just on the other end of it. Oh, y'all get outraged when y'all see a woman in anything. Oh, is that what you do? Is that what you do? Oh, you know. Oh, I see. Oh, you think that character's skin too brown? Got you. Watch this. Watch this. I swear you would think, the way these people act, you would think that all of these original characters were somehow part of a confederacy or something, right?
Yo.
Like, yo, you would the way they ride it, right? These sort of people are riding, but basically you're saying we like them because they were white. Is that why you like them? I hope that's not the only reason you like them. I hope that's not the only reason, like, because the shit y'all complaining about a lot these days sound like that's kind of what it is. And by the way, somebody on my timeline posted a quote from Stan Lee. Trust me, he was never on your side. Stan was never on your side. He was never on your side. Never. But yeah, it's annoying. And because of that, I'm at the point where I don't want to engage as much in the geek community because it's annoying. It really is. Y'all can't just enjoy some of this shit. The stuff you don't enjoy, nobody's telling you to enjoy that. Nobody's saying you got to enjoy what you don't like. But the stuff that you do like, can you find something? And if you find that you don't like any of it, stop watching it.
What a novel
watching it.
Concept.
If you find you're not enjoying any of that shit, if this is just not for you, that's fair. But for the rest of us that's having a good time over here, you shut the fuck up. And also, the last movie, the Ms. Marvel movie, I did not like that movie at all. I didn't like the pacing. I didn't like the villain or the way that they developed the villain. I didn't like it. I didn't like it for movie reasons. Right? For movie reasons. But I know there are people that did. So I let them have it. Good, have a good time. It's great. Go ahead, do your shit. Because I know something's coming. I'm going to like eventually.
Facts, Mike.
Let people like it. Yo, right here. Right here. Let people like things.
Shouldn't be that difficult of a concept.
Just let people like things. Biddy says, try collecting comics in one story, and you'll find yourself collecting 10 other titles involving the same story. Facts! But you only know that if you collect comics. If you read comics, you only know that. Some of y'all got all of your information about comics from a cartoon you watched when you was a kid and the movies that's out now, and then you get on social media acting like you're the expert on the shit, criticizing what they're doing in movies now. And I got to tell you, the stuff you learned from the comic books wasn't source material either. It was inspired by source material. So you quoting that, like you try to put some of the newer fans in their place about what's happening in the movies is wild to me when I see it. I see them quoting scenes from cartoons, not the comic books, and getting on the people who've only experienced this through movies, and giving them the well actually treatment. The well actually treatment. Now imagine coming from somebody that read the source material and was okay with what they did with it with the animated show. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. What are we talking about? This is good. We're getting some shit. Come on, like what the fuck? Seeing them do that. Now, what do I do at this point? Because there's always an urge for me to go, oh, you doing the well actually game on that? Let me do the well actually game on you. Well, actually, sir, the source material, none of that's true.
Yikes.
This is what some of y'all are going to have to come to an acceptance of. You're going to have to come to the acceptance of everybody does not get put on to this sort of content the same way.
Facts.
The second thing you're going to have to get comfortable with is at this point, there's so much lore in just a movie version that a person can be an expert in that and be just as valid because there's so much content. TV shows. It's just so a person being an expert in it, every bit as valid as your comic book stuff. You're gonna have to accept that, B. Or stay the fuck out the geek community. Either way, I have stopped engaging because it's a shit show now. It's annoying. And it isn't fun anymore. So I'm just gonna enjoy the shit that I enjoy. Talk about it on the show with my nearest and dearest. And continue to enjoy it for as long as we have it.
Facts.
Yeah, that's my week.
Oh, tell them why you mad.
I'm just saying.
Oh, all right.
Look, Mike, hold up. Before you go, Mike said, as a comic casual, mainly 90s cartoons / MCU, and I see other comic casuals acting like they're on last level, and I'm over here like, how dare you? Bro, please. Spare me.
You are not to be spared.
Apparently.
It's not your ministry.
It's not my ministry. Look, it ain't my circus, and they ain't my monkeys.
I mean, sure, I can give you that. All right. Where do I start?
The beginning. Try the beginning.
No. I enjoy non-linear storytelling.
Got you. You can start at the end. You can do a flash forward, and then
flash forward, a reverse, a throwback, a callback, then a skip forward.
Damn.
Yeah. And then we end at the beginning.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, my turn.
Benjamin Button. Gotcha.
You're stupid. All right. Oh God. I think. Let me see. What do I'm really just talking about moving shit. Really?
Yeah, because you've been moving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw a picture that Chrissy put up there too. It's like y'all trying to lace that shit up for real. But it also looks like it's a minimalist. I like that because that's what I'm going. When we move to where we moving, I'm going minimalist. Hey, I don't want a whole bunch of shit all of it.
I would prefer to have as little. Yeah, I would prefer to have as little shit as possible. But it's a whole thing. It's
a culture.
there's a whole balance involved with attempting to set this up. So why is it so hard for companies / people to do their job? Now, I'm not talking about things outside of a person's control. In pretty much any job that a human has to do, there are going to be things that pop up that they couldn't really avoid. So that's one thing.
They didn't foresee it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about things that are inherent to the job that anyone doing it should have experience in handling. So this complaint is the opposite of the complaint that is usually linked with what I'm talking about. But it makes me wonder if it's connected. When I order something, well, maybe. When I order something online, this has been my experience for the longest time. When I order something online, it comes when it's supposed to. Specifically, so with like Amazon, and I don't know if that's because I have a business account. I think that might have something to do with it.
Possibly.
But I don't know if it's just happenstance, right? So, for those who don't know, we moved.
You don't say.
No, I just wanted to make sure I know if everyone had heard. We moved. I mentioned we were getting quite a bit of new stuff. Well, last Saturday, not last Saturday. Was it last Saturday? No, Saturday before last. We were at my apartment doing some packing after the show, and Chrissy gets a notification that a very big box had been delivered here. Mind you,
box.
the reason I was even on the show that week was because it was raining, so I couldn't do everything that I had planned on doing that day. So, the box in question was delivered almost 2 weeks early. Almost 2 weeks early. Luckily, Dawn lives like a block over, and she happens to be a manager at the company, not here, but at the company. So she was able to get the keys and put the box in the house. So big thank you for her. So we continued. You know, we were packing. She got a notification. I'm like, hey, call Dawn. She called Dawn. Dawn got that situated. That's all settled. We go back to packing. Chrissy's she got to leave. She getting ready to leave. She comes out the shower. She reveals, she sees yet another notification that yet another box that was supposed to arrive after we moved was indeed arriving that day. So I had to be on alert to wait for the notification that it was delivered. Then I had to go get it. Luckily, it was something that could easily fit in my trunk. Because again, we didn't have fucking keys at this point because we weren't scheduled to move for another week and a half. Well, about a week and a half. This pattern of early deliveries continued. Everything
getting them though, bro.
Nah, nigga, because again, my history, I can only complain or rejoice based on my experience. I don't do it based on other people's experiences. Based on my experiences,
we ain't been getting our shit.
Listen, I understand. But I always be getting my shit, and I always be getting my shit on time. So this was a drastic thing. And again, it sounds like first world problems when you don't take into account the fact that I didn't have access to the unit. So it's a huge inconvenience. It's a huge inconvenience for shit to be being delivered here.
Yo, that is ass.
So
that's ass.
So the manager here, I saw him that next Tuesday, and he asked me how everything went. I'm like, yeah, Don was able to get the keys and put it inside. I said, the problem is shit keeps coming early. And he was like, all right, well, what do you have left to do as far as moving? And he was like, you got to sign something or something? I said, yeah, but not really. Like, there's only one thing that needs to be signed. And he was like, all right, well, luckily, he was like, all right, well, just whenever things arrive, you can go ahead and put it into the unit. I'm like, oh,
right.
Thank you very much. Because my nigga, otherwise, because like I said, it wasn't just like that first box was a whole entertainment stand, like big ass box, but it would not have fit in my car or even Chrissy's vehicle.
Right.
Like, so the only realistic option was putting it in the goddamn house. And if we didn't have access,
how was you putting it out?
Yeah, it was raining.
Like, I would have literally had a new entertainment center because I'd have came by and
bro.
Like, oh shit, this is all right.
Nah, nigga. We at no point that particular box was I worried about anybody taking it. Not at all.
Nigga, look, we constantly had to go through. Nigga, we constantly be getting U-Hauls. Like we got U-Haul spot right down the street.
Listen, nigga. If you go through all that,
I can have it. I guess.
Yeah, if you go through all that, my guy, it's yours. I can't even be like, yo, I get home like, damn, they got me.
Yeah, he worked for it though.
Yeah, he heard that. I can't even be mad. So obviously a part of the move was transferring services from my apartment to here. Just BG&E and Xfinity. So I went to my BGA app, told them I was moving, filled out the pertinent information, got an email that the application was in process. A couple days later, got confirmation that the application was approved. Easy, simple, quick. Yeah. I made the mistake of thinking that it would be just as easy for Xfinity. Nope. I went to the app, told them I was moving, filled out the pertinent information, and hey,
hold on.
You leaving?
Yes.
Say hi to the people.
Hi, people.
Hey, Chrissy.
So I'm like, all right, I filled out the pertinent information.
It's hot.
It is. Is the heat on?
I don't think so.
Can you make sure it's not? Nigga, this shit is no, it's great. It's working too well. Chill out, my guy. Also the lights,
Well, yeah. But you know the reason I read that up is because I want everybody to be in the same boat I was in.
Oh no, nigga, listen. Here's the benefit. Actually, I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So I go in the Xfinity app, told I'm moving, filled out pertinent info, and then landed on the screen with a phone number.
Interesting.
But no other information.
Oh.
Not no indication whether or not the application went through, no indication that there was an error, no indication that you need to call this phone number and do this and say this, or nothing else, just the phone number. So since there was no indication, I figured that it didn't go through. No information about why it didn't go through, no information on how to best navigate this shit moving forward.
Why would they give you that? Why would they give you that?
Right. So I thought maybe it was an issue with the app. All right, cool. I would try the website. Same thing. Okay. A day or two later, I called that number. For those who don't know, when you call Xfinity, you are greeted with a robot whose number one goal is to get you off the phone and to get you to use the website chat. It even goes as far as to lie to you about how long wait times are as a way to discourage you from being on the phone. This is not an exaggeration. Once it verified who I was and why I was calling, it asked me if I wanted to be texted a link to the website, which would be the, quote, fastest way to transfer my service. I say no. Say no. And it uses like 15 words to ask me if I'm sure. And then it tells me that call wait times are longer than normal.
They say that shit every fucking time, B.
Bruh, throughout this process, I had to call them 3 times. The longest I was ever on hold from robot to human, probably 45 seconds. Every time I called, they said that the call time, the wait times were
every time, bro. Every
time. You tell? All right. I'm going to say something that's going to sound horrible. I get it. I get it. I understand why it's going to sound horrible. And I agree that it's going to sound horrible. But I'm going to explain. Of course, I'm going to explain.
I already know what you're about to say anyway.
But I'm also, because I'm also not wrong. And I'll try to make it clear who I'm frustrated at for this. I hate dealing with people whose first language isn't English when I have to give very specific information to companies. Now, I think this is a problem with the companies themselves in that they don't pay enough, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
No. I don't even think. I think intrinsically, well, no, you're right about that. You're right about that. They don't pay enough because they don't want to pay enough. So they'll go overseas and get these workers over there because they know they don't have to charge them as they don't have to pay them as much as they pay. So yeah, in that you are 100% correct, sir. And it is annoying because we all have accents, and I keep it real with you. There are people that were born and raised here in the United States, but live in certain geographic areas where their accent is really thick and it's hard for me to understand them. Now, take that by people who live tens of thousands of miles away. Culture, different language. Now, I'm gonna give you your props, right? Because you speak several languages. That is awesome.
Because the vast majority of people where I live wouldn't be able to do what you are able to do.
Facts. That's a
however, in this moment,
it's less annoying.
It's not helping me. It's not helping me. Also, this wouldn't have been an issue if I could have done all this shit online without having to speak to any person.
Let me ask you about that. How come you can't do it? This is 2024.
I'm explaining. Well, hold up. The explanation I'm going to give doesn't justify it. It's just what happened.
Okay.
I want to be clear about that. Right. You'll understand when this issue pops up as I go further along. I'm going to use made-up addresses because having an address is important to understanding the full context of what the fuck happened. So, in these made-up addresses, I'm moving from 100 Yale Avenue to 40 Walden Sycamore Court. Okay. So I talked to the first guy and he has my current address. So he gets that right because all he has to do is read that. He gets that right. But he gets the address I'm moving to wrong twice.
Oh my.
Twice is not that big a deal. Eventually we get that right. I thought. And he starts to put in the order for the transfer. He stops and says that there's a balance on the new address. And he asks if I have any documentation that I'm newly moving to that address, just to make sure I'm not connected to the people that were previously there and that, I'm like, that's reasonable. No, I don't have that on me at the moment. He said, okay. He gave me a number to call back when I had that information so that I could provide it to the person I talked to. Cool. Slightly annoying, but it makes all the sense in the world, and I understand why that would happen. Cool. All right. That was the first guy. couple days later, I called the number that he gave me. I'm thinking it's a direct line to whoever I need to talk to.
Yeah.
No, I get the robot again for the second time. I get to the representative finally, and it legitimately takes him 5 times to get the address right. I say 40 Walden Sycamore Court. He then asked me to spell it.
Right.
So because I'm talking to a person who presumably deals with addresses all of the time, I spelled out Walden and Sycamore. And then I said court. Why did I assume I would be able to do that? Is because court is a normal designation of a street. Court, street, way, avenue, boulevard.
Is it though?
So I said court. He asked me to spell that. Then he
Okay, yeah, I get it because he's okay. All right.
He asked me to spell court.
Right.
Then he repeats it back to me. He is nowhere close.
Yo, Mike is hilarious.
He
He
somehow turns those 3 words, Walden Sycamore Court, into 2 words.
Oh my.
I told him that Walden is the first word, and I spell it out. I told him Sycamore is the second word, and I spell it out. And then he made me spell court again.
Maybe he thought you meant
And he still somehow
C-A-R-T.
and he still somehow had it at 2 words. No, sir, it's 3. Okay. So eventually he got it.
You know what? It'd have been probably a more easier for you to learn what the word 3 was in his language.
You know what's funny? Earlier, I was going to reference the fact that I've pretty much always been good at learning foreign language. So you might actually be right. It might have been easier for me to just learn how to say it in whatever his language was. But so eventually he got it. Oh, because he goes to put the order in. He says he can't do the order because the new address is under a bulk account. So for those who don't know, when you move to a place that you rent and they offer you cable or internet, that is a bulk account. It is the company, the apartment complex or whatever property management place, they have an account that has multiple addresses, bulk. That's a bulk account. So he says he can't do it because the address is under a bulk account. So the guy says he isn't able to do it. He gives me a number to call. Let's pause. This is how I know that either the first guy I talked to never truly got the address right, or he just didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Because how did he not realize it was a bulk account?
Yeah.
Okay. So I called the number that the second guy gave me. Again, thinking that this is a direct line. No, I get the robot again. I get to a representative. It happens to be a Southern black woman.
Oh man.
Nigga. The jubilation,
bro.
Lee,
isn't it something about a Southern black woman calling you sugar?
Bruh. It makes me feel safe.
Yeah, you feel safe. Like you feel home.
Safe.
Yeah.
So
I smell biscuits every woo,
bro. So needless to say, this transfer of information went flawless. She understood everything that I've said without me having to repeat myself 7 times or without me having to spell anything. The problem
Right.
was she can't do the transfer for bulk accounts either. So the second motherfucker extended me to a person who also can't do it.
Oh,
So
That's
she puts
gotta
me on
hurt.
hold. She gets someone in that department to transfer me to. Before we get to this last lady, let's pause again. Notice what I just said. She gets someone on the phone that she can transfer me to. So what the fuck was the second guy doing? Why did he make me go through calling again only to not send me to the right place when he could have just transferred me to someone? No. So the lady transfers me to the right person. This woman is, again, not a native English speaker. But that shouldn't be an issue at this point because the lady before her gathered all the information and sent it to her. She confirmed the new lady confirmed the right current address, confirmed the right future address, and the date the transfer was supposed to take place before the first lady got off the phone. Cool. Bet. We ended. Then, for some reason, all of that went out the fucking window. She asked the question, do you already have service at 400 Walden Avenue? Ma'am. So, first of all, there are several ways that I could have interpreted that question as to what she actually meant, and every one of them is wrong given the information she had. She somehow ignored the transfer aspect and combined the two addresses. I reminded her that this was a transfer, and then I told her that wasn't the right address. She then asked if the address is 44 Walden Sycamore Court. No, where did you get that from? Well, back to the second dude I talked to. Apparently, he tried to put the order in and was successful, but for the wrong fucking address. How?
Damn it.
How? And once you realized it was wrong, why didn't you cancel the order?
Facts.
So I finally corrected all that shit, and about 45 minutes later, finally everything was set up right. Nigga, I have never been so infuriated about a phone call. Nigga. All right. So the day that I saw the manager, and he was like, as things come in, go ahead, grab the keys, put it in the unit. That day, Chrissy came to this rental office to sign the last piece of paper she had to sign. When she did that, we went to grab something to eat. We come back. We witnessed the car accident. We were about to make the turn into the complex. There was a car in front of us. I saw how fast it was moving, and I just knew there was no way it was about to turn into the complex.
And you were wrong.
Well, I had no idea how literally wrong I was. Not only did the car turn, it jumped the curb and ran straight through the sign.
God damn.
So I was literally wrong. It absolutely turned into the car. Okay.
Oh my.
So I tell Chrissy, stop beside them. Before we can get her window all the way down, there's a guy in the passenger seat. He's like, we okay. So for a split second, we started to continue to our destination. But then I was like, hold up. Oh, hold on. I told her to stop again. I get out. Several other cars are stopped by this time as well. It's a couple people outside of their cars. So the nigga who was in the passenger seat is now getting out of the vehicle, walking around to the driver's side and getting into the driver's seat.
Oh boy.
Still talking about we okay, we all right. He gets in and he tries to drive, but he was having a bit of trouble at that point. That's when I realized that his intent was to flee the scene. My original intent was to make sure they was all right.
Yeah, of course.
But I am still an employee of this company who is also about to be a tenant at this very location. So this could get me brownie points.
Yeah, sure could.
Also, if he gets away with it, this can mess up the budget at this property that I'm about to live in.
So basically, he got away with it, but he ain't get away with it.
So once I realized he was actually trying to dip out, I pulled one of these, slipped my phone right out. Real quick, real smooth like. So eventually he drives off. Teachable moment here. If you're going to flee the scene of an auto accident,
Right.
it's probably a good idea to not go park in the very development you caused the accident.
Yeah, I don't think that would be best.
I mean, better yet, it's a good idea not to flee the scene at all.
Well, sure.
But also, especially if you live on the fucking property. What do you mean? Sir.
Oh my goodness.
My guy. Bro
Broham.
ham. What? Okay, fine. So I went to the rental office, told the agent what happened, and slid the picture to our security dude. They found out eventually who it was, and the security dude went to their house to explain to them that if they didn't come forward, there would likely be serious repercussions.
Consequences and repercussions.
Yeah. So the father comes up to the rental office a couple of days later. He apologized for what happened, and he said he would absolutely pay for the sign. He said that he was told that the car locked up, and that is what caused the accident.
Is that what he was told?
The rental agent who was there overheard this conversation between the father and the property manager, and she interjected like, point of order, sir. If the car locks up and it is moving at those speeds,
at relativistic speeds,
it is physically impossible for it to make a 90-degree turn. That's not how. And then she explained to him what actually happened.
Okay.
And he said, I want to quote this. I don't want to mess up his words.
Okay.
He said, okay, so if you hear about a murder, there is no need for you to look around. It was me.
Oh.
So I don't know exactly what happened, but based on what I saw with my eyes and what I heard them have conversation with the father, I'm assuming that the son was teaching someone else how to drive. They fucked up and they panicked, and the person who was being taught hopped over to the driver's seat. Son hopped over to the driver's seat.
That's what it sounds like.
Drove to the house, told his father, hey, the car locked up. I couldn't blah, 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 blah. That's how I had this damage. Like, nigga, what?
Yeah.
Sense? Does any of this are not making sense, sir?
At all.
So that's how that happened. So that was interesting. Another thing. I would like to state for the record.
For the record, hold on, excuse me. You say you're stating this for the record?
Yes. I'd like to state for the record that moving is trash.
Yo, bro, listen. I hate it. There's literally, I'm sitting there trying to think of something that I hate more as far as activity. And I can't. I really believe that the only time I'm going to be satisfied with a move is when I eventually move out the country, because I'm not
sure.
hardly any of it. I'm selling what I can sell, throwing away the rest. Right?
Thanks.
Fuck this. Like,
Thanks.
fuck
Thanks.
that.
Just in general, moving is trash, right? I want to give a big shout out to everyone who helped us in any way.
Oh, you're welcome, bro. That's not
Shut
a
up.
problem.
Shut up. My mother, Fab, Marcus, Dion, Chrissy's sister, they all came in clutch.
I mean, me and Adequate did what we could do. So
Shut up.
You don't have to
Shut up.
Oh,
Shut up. Shut up. But again, moving is trash.
Garbage. 100% garbage.
Having to get the keys as early and often as we did was a big help, you know, because it expanded the time of actual moving that we were able to do. So we didn't have to do as much in such a condensed time frame. Clearing out my apartment was a bit of an issue, but that's really only because of the fact that I was on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, because you had a minimalist type of thing going on.
Well, no, I mean I had stuff.
Yeah,
the minimalist thing only applied to what was being used. Because what would happen is over the years, the vast majority, funny enough, the vast majority of things that were inside of the apartment were boxes from deliveries. And like some of it was like the box to a thing. Like I still got my KRK boxes.
Oh yeah. Yo, I don't know why I do that goofy ass shit, yo.
I still had it came in handy. That's what I moved them in.
That's
I still got these big ass monitors. I still got those boxes. That's what I moved them in. So some of my lights, I still have those boxes. That's what I moved them in. So it came in handy, but that's the thing. But moving from a 3rd floor apartment, that shit is not for the weak.
Oh, I've done it,
It's
bro.
not. Yeah, it's not for the weak. And luckily, the next time I move, I will be in a position to warrant getting movers because collectively, we definitely do actually have enough stuff to warrant that kind of thing.
Trust me. Have you ever used movers before?
No.
Well, I mean, other than the obvious, you gotta protect your super valuables.
Oh, they're not touching that shit.
Yeah, like my equipment, I'll do that myself. But other than that,
yeah, this room was going to always be.
Yeah, he's always going to be the one. But other than that, it is the bee's knees to have somebody else.
I bet.
And these doing that shit. Fuck
nigga. Nigga. Also, I haven't moved since I was 25. No, not 25. Like 27. 26, 27.
So have you helped anybody else move in between?
No. In the interim, I have not helped anyone else move. So you know where that's going. You already know. I already got to finish that. Yeah. Okay. I already got to finish. Okay. All right. Yeah. So in the future, luckily, I'll be able to justify actually paying movers. So that'll be great.
Good.
Again, I'd like to say
you and Chrissy's stuff combined. Yeah.
Probably. Oh yeah, no, nigga, no, absolutely, no, yes. Again, I just want to express moving is trash. So there was a thing or two that didn't go the way we envisioned. One example is the basement door being too narrow to get my couches down there. So we threw them out.
Basement now?
Yeah. So we threw them out, but that wasn't the biggest problem in the world because I had those couches for 8 years, and I got them from my homeboy who had them for years already.
Right.
So they lived their life. They did their job. Thanks. Also, again, I want to reiterate that moving is trash.
You never said that. You never said
no,
that.
I just want to make sure I got that out there. Okay. So we already had our first argument in the new house. Let me take a quick time out. Probably my favorite thing about my current relationship is that we don't actually argue. we have disagreements from time to time that need to be
It'll
discussed.
pass.
Yeah, we do that instead of fussing and yelling at each other. It's just so much easier to call it an argument than trying to explain exactly what it was that happened. It's just so much easier to call it an argument. Anyway,
yeah.
So this stems from a particular way of thinking that we differ on greatly. So when there are tasks to complete, we have approaches that almost couldn't be more opposite.
Right.
Her approach is to attack. All these things have to be done. Therefore, I must be doing them as quickly and as often as possible until they are complete.
You heard what he said.
That's cool.
You heard what she said.
That's cool. However, my approach, as with pretty much everything in life, is efficiency and convenience. All these things have to be done. Okay, what is the level of urgency for each of these things? Will completing any of these tasks make it harder to complete another task? Do I have everything I need to fully complete this task? Is this a task that, if worked on now, will need to be worked on again later?
That
simply because I wasn't patient.
That sounds like a lot of mental labor, though.
No, that happens quickly. It's quickly for me. See, I don't believe. Here's the thing: I don't believe in doing extra work.
Oh well, I mean, you and I,
especially when I have
completely agreement there.
Yeah, especially when I have the foresight not to. The biggest reason is that sometimes extra work is unavoidable. Absolutely, sometimes it's unavoidable. For instance, because I didn't have the foresight to secure the screws for my table,
you got screwed
during this move. I mean, I wouldn't say it was that drastic of a consequence, but because I didn't secure the screws for the table years ago when I put the table away, once we moved, I had to go to Home Depot and get some screws.
Push it.
So extra work that was kind of unavoidable because years ago, when I put the table up, I just didn't secure the screws.
Right.
It is what it is. That type of shit is unavoidable. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
That's an oversight that caused more work, but I'm not going to completely fill up the studio / office with boxes and bins, knowing that I have to hang things and put things together that require space. And,
Question. Your new studio / office, is it bigger than the old one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, the screws thing, there's nothing I could really do about that. There was no way I was going to get away from doing extra work,
right? Other
than just screwing it together because I didn't have the fucking screws to screw it together.
One more question for the witness. Are y'all getting a cat?
I don't know. We don't know yet. That's a whole different.
Yeah, I'll probably about to get a cat. Yeah.
It's possible, but this door's going to stay closed.
See.
No. It isn't about Chrissy. I want a cat.
Well, I know that already. But Chrissy want a cat. So if you want a cat and Chrissy want a cat, y'all probably gonna get a cat. Now
again, no, not necessarily, because there's another factor involved.
But a dog?
No, ain't nobody getting no goddamn dog. There's another factor involved. She already has a rabbit.
Oh.
So we might not be getting a cat, right?
So, but it depends. That you got a room though that you can close the door.
Yeah,
nigga. About no motherfucking cat.
No, we
walking over your fucking studio.
No, listen. If we get a cat, this door is staying closed. It's point blank. Period. There's no way around. Yeah, there's no way around that. No, that's already.
Who grooms Chrissy's rabbit?
I've talked to her about this, but because of the move and everything, we haven't gotten a chance to actually talk about it. So
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm already on it. You already know I'm on it. So like I said, with the table, it was unavoidable to do extra work.
Right.
Because I had to do extra work in order to get it accomplished.
Facts.
Right.
Facts. That's right.
But there are a bunch of boxes and stuff in the living room. I'm not gonna move the boxes into the office knowing that I need space to put together the stuff that's in the office.
Well, no, of course.
And I'm hanging stuff that's in the office that just doesn't make sense. That would make me have to move all those boxes and things like 3 times instead of the one time that's actually necessary.
Right.
And I'm definitely not rushing to do it on the first Saturday/Sunday when I took off the entire week for the purposes of putting the house together. So like stuff like that. Now, again, when I say argument, this isn't something that reached a tipping point or anything like that. It just manifested as either her going to do a thing and me telling her to sit her monkey ass down and relax, or her asking me to do a thing and me explaining like, chill out. Like this has to be done in a particular order.
What up, sis?
Like, I'll give you an example. What up, sis? I'll give you an example. That big ass entertainment stand. Me and Marcus put it together, and it was sitting out from the wall.
Right.
And Chrissy's like, "All right, can you push it against the wall?" No, because there's a TV being mounted.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense for me to put the entertainment center against the wall.
Did you mount the TV?
And then try to mount the TV. Yeah.
Okay.
And then try to mount the TV. Like you're adding more work when you do stuff like that. It's like, no, we gonna mount the TV first, and then we're gonna move it.
That's right.
Like, stuff like that.
Thanks.
So but in hindsight, none of this was a surprise because this is kind of what our personalities are in general. I'm more laid back and calculated. She's more upfront and get it done.
Do it now. I said now.
Yeah, and it's like, and for certain things, and that's the thing. I feel like that's why it works.
It's complimentary.
Yes, for certain things, I need that. I need
somebody put a foot on you. Like
you gonna go. I'm like, oh shit, you're right. And then for certain things,
but you know what? That's me too.
I need to tell her like, hey, chill out.
I will procrastinate.
Right.
Like exactly. A whole lot to it. Yeah.
And then for certain things,
chill out.
I'm like, yo, you're doing too much. You're only going to cause it to have to be done again.
Right.
Wait until we have what we need so we can go ahead and take care of it completely. And then not be an issue moving forward. And we can actually chill out. Again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but moving is trash. So I mentioned that
that's this bitter old timer.
That's funny. I mentioned that getting stuff out of the apartment was a little difficult because of it being on the 3rd floor. So that kind of messed up with our plans. We ended up in a position where I was effectively going to end up having to take the rest of the trash and stuff around the corner to the dumpster by myself. It's not that it was a bunch of stuff. It's that it would have taken a bunch of trips.
Yeah.
That was really the issue. Like, so I was going to do that, and then we were going to get a cleaning crew to come clean it. The property manager said, no, don't hire nobody to clean it. Just make sure you get all the stuff out. I said, all right, bet. So we reallocated those funds to say, hey, let's get somebody to do the trash out.
Facts.
So, because we just knew.
Keep going. I can hear you.
We just knew that was going to be cheaper. And it should have been. I don't know if it's just that it's been so long since either of us have dealt with any official companies who do that type of stuff. I don't know if it was the fact that they're taking into account that it was on the 3rd floor. I don't know what it was, but nigga, the prices that Chrissy was getting for quotes, kind of ridiculous. So it was either way, it made more sense for us to hire somebody to do it because at the point that I saw that it was going to be more expensive than we thought it was going to be. With the amount of time we had left before we had to get everything, out, it was like, all right, it's scheduled to rain every single day between now and the time everything needs to be out. So going back and forth in and out of the apartment while it's raining was pretty much a non-starter for us. We would have did it if it came down to it, if we had no other choice. But nigga, if we didn't have to, we was never going to. It's just that simple. So the people will ask for pictures so they can give us a quote. Nigga. When Chrissy sent this to me, I thought she was joking. The first thing, after I sent her the pictures, she said that the nigga quoted her $600 and then blocked her after she sent him the pictures. Quoted her $600 and then blocked her. That's wild. That's crazy. Like, he quoted her $600. She said effectively what amounts to, hold on, let me check. And before she got a chance to move or say anything else, she was blocked. So that's wild. And that's crazy. Like, how do you handle business that way? How do you handle business that way? Like, you might have been about to get that money. You weren't. We were never going to spend that type of money on that. It just wasn't going to happen. But you don't know that because she gave you no indication that we wasn't going to spend that type of money on it. So, like, why would you? Like I said, I thought she was joking when she sent me that shit. But here's the thing. Let me tell you what was left. There was a thin sheet of plywood. Anybody who's seen some of my photo shoots that I've done inside of the apartment, in some of those pictures, you would have seen the plywood. So thin sheet of plywood, some paper from the roll of backdrop paper, an aluminum pipe that held the backdrop, an old coffee table, a 20-inch by 40-inch computer desk. So like one of them little flimsy ass.
Yeah, that's blue as shit.
Yeah. The chair to that desk, a queen size mattress topper, a dresser, which was a big heavy item. It's one, but I've only named one big heavy item. The dresser, a car subwoofer, an enclosure. So it's not big, but it is slightly heavy. So it's two heavy things.
Right.
Some empty boxes, some random loose trash, and some fucking trash bags. That was it. I might be forgetting a thing or two, but I know I said all the bulk things. Oh, yeah, there was like a 20-inch flat screen monitor. Not TV, monitor. 20-inch monitor.
Something you grab one hand and toss the fuck out of the window.
Something you would absolutely 1,000%. And this nigga talking about some $600.
You can kiss my ass. You can kiss my ass after I took a diarrhea shit all day. Fuck out of here. I'm paying you no $600 damn dollars for that shit.
No, that's no fucking
Crazy.
way. What is wrong with you?
Crazy.
But I think that might be why he blocked her, because he probably read it afterwards, like, oh shit. Ain't nobody gonna say
this is real bad.
ain't nobody gonna give you $600. So, like I said, it wasn't a tiny bit of stuff by any means, but it's not like it was enough to require a whole big ass crew. We found
Thought
somebody
this was
who
a
gave us a
come up,
much
yo.
better
He thought
price.
this was a come up.
Nigga, yo, we found somebody who gave us a much better price, and
What they give you? What they tell you?
after seeing the photos, they only sent 2 people.
Of course, yo.
Right, because it wasn't that much shit. So it's like
$600, yo. $600.
they went in there and knocked that shit out in like hour and a half, 2 hours. And the time, again, is only because they're full. Because I ain't gonna hold you. I'd be upset if I saw you trashing out that 3rd floor unit and you didn't take a break.
Facts.
It's the 3rd fucking floor. I'm not expecting you to just. No, I ain't expecting you to hump that shit through. No, you take all the breaks you need because I am human. I also know what it's like to go up those steps, up and down,
But you know what, though?
consistently.
You know what? One of these days, there'll be AI assisted robots. And
You're stupid.
All day.
Yes, Tim.
And I'm still going to offer them a break. I'm still going to offer them a break.
Okay. Well, no. I'm not going to offer. I won't be mad if they take one. I'm not going to offer them. No, fuck them. But no, like I said, like I'm not. I like 2 hours. It was less than 2 hours, but 2 hours is fucking reasonable. Right. I mean, go. If it wasn't on the 3rd floor, 2 hours would be absolutely have been too long.
That would have been too long. But again, 3rd floor, bro. Like, nah.
Yeah, man. I'm not. So yeah, they came in and knocked it out. I ain't gonna hold you though. One of them had to be a crackhead. There's no way, there's no way around it. Nah, listen.
It was
nigga. It wasn't Pookie. It was a Jesse or something. But yo, he was out there. Like I say, it was raining that day. It was pouring down raining that day. This motherfucker was out there walking gingerly, just matter-of-factly to and from
he was trying to get money for that blast, yo.
He didn't have a hoodie on. He had on a t-shirt and another t-shirt. I'm sorry. He had on a white undershirt and a t-shirt. And he's just
could it be?
I put them down.
Could it be? He's just a
crackhead. No, listen. To the point where, like if you pack in a truck or some shit, and like you can't really get it on the way so you gotta do a little moving around and shit.
Yeah.
When he got to that point, he didn't even do that with any urgency. He would like slowly just move this here, put the thing down on the ground, move the thing around,
do the diddler shuffle and shit.
Pick it up off the ground, slide it in place, and then walk slowly with a steady pace back toward the apartment.
I mean, you stop talking shit about my cousin.
It is, sir. It is raining cats and dogs out here. Why are you not showing any urgency? Eventually, he put a hoodie on. But he made 4 or 5 trips in the pouring rain with no hoodie. What are you doing? Are you okay? Is everything all right at home?
No. No, not at all.
So that was interesting to watch because we let them in and we showed them, everything that was trash. We got the last of the stuff that was coming with us. They went in. We came back here, unloaded her car, went back there, and that's when we saw them doing that. Went to grab some food, came back, and before we got back from going, 6 miles away, before we got back, they was finished and gone. So I'm like, nigga, they was.
And they left a note.
No. So the dude that she was in contact with was the boss. He wasn't there.
Was he
had
the
his feet.
final boss?
Nigga, I don't fucking know. All I know is one of them motherfuckers was a crackhead. The other one seemed pretty normal.
Right.
But one of them was a crackhead. Ain't no way.
Well, you gotta have a normal one along with the crackhead.
Listen, I ain't mad about it. I ain't mad about it at all. Like, in order for it to happen the way that it happened, you kind of needed to have a crackhead involved.
Yo, but my question is, why is niggas still smoking crack in 2024?
Well, I would caution you to say that remember how I was talking about several times on the show that if you use your critical thinking and it leads you to a conclusion that doesn't make sense, it's probably because it doesn't make sense and that's not the right conclusion. It wasn't a nigga, Tim.
Oh.
That's why. So yes, you are correct.
Oh.
It was indeed not a nigga. I wanted to make sure I got this in. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. Moving sucks.
Hey yo,
moving sucks. Moving sucks.
I hate it.
But also, actually being in the new place, it's amazing. That's different. Yeah, that's different. So everybody that was asking me, "You excited? You excited?" No,
because I gotta move.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the part. Like, no, that part, no. To be in the new place.
Are you excited? But you know the funny thing about moving, right, is that the new place is exciting all for about 3 months. And then after a while, it's like,
well, I'll say this. The word exciting no longer applies.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you replace it with, the excitement leaves after a few months. Yeah.
Unless you move out of the country, and then.
Well, I still don't. I can't.
Depends on where you move. Okay.
Listen to me clearly. I've lived out of the country.
Yeah, that's true. That was a long time ago. You was a kid.
No, nigga. No, listen. The feelings were still human feelings, my guy. The excitement still went away. No, nigga. Listen. Even the second year, the excitement still went away. It was normal. It was regular weed at a certain point. You get used to it.
I said 3 months, 6 months.
Maybe. Okay, I'll give you that. It might take longer. Yes, I'll give you that. But at some point, it becomes regular weed.
Well, yeah.
It just is.
That's right.
We spent so much money.
You spent so much money.
New shit.
Well,
just on new shit, like. But between
one of the reasons you did
the new place itself,
you're not living alone. Some things that you would have just, man, that's fine. The person you live with, like, no, it's not fine. We want
absolutely, 100%.
Because I lived a very Spartan existence before.
Nigga. The only thing that had any attention was the fucking studio.
That's it.
That was it. That's the only thing that. Listen, nothing else really matters that much. Like, I gotta have a TV, but I got a TV already. I gotta have a bed, but I got a bed already. I gotta have somewhere to sit, but I got somewhere to sit already. Yeah. I don't need. No, listen. And I ain't mad at it. She had to pull my teeth. It's not like she had to pull teeth or shit like that to get me. Right. No, hey, I think we should. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, and do you think we should?
But this is why. This is one of the reasons why women are so valuable to niggas like us.
Nigga.
We are Vikings. Right?
Facts.
Fuck.
Facts.
Women show you the better things in life, right?
Facts. Without question. Not even like no rebuttal.
Yo, one of the reasons why I even got spoiled in the first place.
Yeah. Oh no, nigga, you absolutely. No, absolutely you. I'm a little more cultured than you was
Right.
before you reach this point. But even still, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
I was an
No
uncultured
notes.
swine, yo.
Yeah, you, nigga, you. I'm a little more cultured than you were at that
Yeah,
same point.
That's a fact, though. That's a fact.
But your point still stands.
Right.
100%. This is like I've thought about it before, but this is my first time having a king size bed. Oh, night and day.
Oh yeah.
I've never needed. What the fuck did I need?
Right.
Like
Right.
to be fair, with my ex, it probably would have been beneficial. But we just didn't. It never came up to like, oh, we should get a king. It never came up. So like, this is my first time having a king size bed. Oh,
I can't even imagine not having one after having one. Nigga,
you fucking plebes. Fuck you mean queen? Queen.
I can't even imagine not having a king size bed. and proof is in the pudding. Like when I went down Georgia to do that Dragon Con shit.
Mm-hmm.
So wifey came down there that weekend to help out. We sleeping in the bed. It's not a king size. I'm like, yo, this is ass. but it's also not.
Right. Facts. That's absolutely the same thing. It wasn't like the queen size bed was serviceable.
Yes.
It worked.
Yeah.
It's just that the king size bed.
It's not even. Unfortunately, I might as well have the equivalent of a twin because these fucking cats.
That's funny.
Jump over in that thing.
That's funny.
And take space.
That's hilarious.
Motherfuckers.
That's hilarious. Also, this is my first time having a kitchen space that I feel fully comfortable cooking in. Like, mommy's space is big enough for me, but again, back when I was living there, I wasn't really cooking like that. Like,
right.
I wasn't really doing no cooking. Ever since I really started cooking, I've never had a space that I lived in that was like really like.
So that means you're gonna be cooking more often. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm gonna be cooking more often in general because, like, so we won't have to spend as much money on like takeout. So I'm gonna be cooking more often in general anyway. Yeah. So, and as you alluded to, even though I'm sharing now, the studio space still seems bigger. Like somehow, I don't know. I guess part of it.
So wait a minute. Is Chrissy gonna do the podcast thing in that same room, right?
I don't know. She ain't answered it. Well, we ain't talking about that yet. I know that, well, last we talked about it, she was still going to be going to because that's her house. She didn't sell the house.
Right.
The place where they do the podcast now, that's her house. So as long as her co-host still lives there, they're moving too. But as long as she live there, yeah, she'll be going over there. I don't know if I don't think it's going to always be there. I think sometimes they're going to do remote. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she'll still be going over there. But her shit is already set up. Only thing
they plan on doing remote. What kind of content they're going to shoot? Yeah. Shoot that needs them to do remote.
I'm talking about the podcast.
I know, but I can see us. Oh, I know what you're saying. Got you.
Like the way we doing it.
Mm-hmm.
No, not outside. Not like no, not like that. I'm saying the way we do the show now. Right. Yeah, they want to do some.
For y'all who didn't know, that might be new to the show or newer to the show. We ain't always do it like this.
Nah.
I would go into Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
We would record like. Not only would we do like whatever the broadcast shit was, but then we would record more shit. Mm-hmm. We would literally be there Saturday, like all day Saturday into the night, recording shit.
Facts. We even, for those new, we even did some episodes outside.
We did. We went to that park. Remember that park we went to?
Mm-hmm.
That was dope.
Perfect.
That was dope.
So speaking of podcasts, so our podcast is still coming out. The reason that it didn't come out in March is because I started working on the theme song, and once I got to a certain point with the theme song, I was like, oh no, this
I've been there.
needs to go
I've
up.
been there.
This song needs to go up as well.
Yeah,
so
I've been there.
until the song is up and out, the podcast won't be either. So yeah, that's my creatively, that is my first order of business, is to get that song finished completely so that I can start putting the podcast episodes out. So that was that. Also, eventually, this is the plan for right now anyway, we are going to be the basement is going to be the podcast area.
Okay.
Eventually.
Wait a minute. Do y'all have high ceilings?
Higher than my apartment.
I can hear it.
Yeah, I can fully extend my my light. Why am I drawing a blank on what they're officially called? No, the light holder. Light stand, nigga. Yeah, I can fully extend my light stands now. Which I couldn't do in the apartment.
I can hear it.
And also
I can always hear the difference when somebody's in a room with higher ceilings. I can always hear it. It's the engineer shit.
Also I have so the gray paneling that was behind me in the apartment, not those, the ones that were up threw away, but I had extras. So I actually started putting them on the ceiling.
My man.
So yeah, that as well. So, and we got carpet, and we got this little rug in here, and and I have some of that gray paneling. Matter of fact, I can show you some of that gray paneling on the back of the monitors, because so I have some of the gray paneling on the back of the visual monitors because the audio monitors are behind and facing
in the
here. Right. So yeah, I've it's gonna be, like I said, this somehow it seems as if the rooms aren't that different in square footage, but the shape is different.
And that makes it seem like it's more space.
Yeah, somehow I feel like I have a lot more space. Like I'm not as close to the wall. Like the desk is not as close to the wall as it was in the apartment.
Right.
Part of that because there's not a closet door right here that I need to avoid.
Yeah, facts.
So like the way that it's shaped, it is slightly bigger square footage wise, but the way that it's shaped is really the big thing that's having this be beneficial being in here. I'm going to be able to have my green screen up full time.
Right.
Like there's space like literally right here where the green screen can just stay up. And because I don't have the desk as close to the wall, I can fit my tripod right here where I'm sitting.
Right.
It just feels and a part of that is on top of it physically being slightly bigger and the shape being different, this was a blank slate.
Facts.
Now, I didn't have to imagine certain shit. It was empty. So I had all the space and room to just think about what's going to go where and all that other type of stuff. Without having to put this here. No, don't work here. Let me move this here. No, don't work. Nah. Or I have all this set up already. How am I going to deal with changes? And I had to worry about none of that because it wasn't shit in here.
Right.
That was a very big benefit. Let me see. Not having to deal with delivery people lying about my entry code not working.
Yeah.
Nigga.
Yeah. These are things. Like,
bro, it's the little things in life. I'm not hard to please.
These are things.
I am not hard to I've had food delivered twice thus far. And of course, we have stuff coming for the house being delivered.
Right.
Not a single time have I had to communicate with any human. Oh my god!
I didn't have to be like.
Oh,
Hold on, wait a minute. Whoa.
had to go back and forth.
This ain't a row house though, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's the end. It's at the end of the block.
Oh, okay. So you got that.
Yeah,
Oh,
corner unit.
oh,
Yeah, have a corner unit. So even though I didn't experience noise complaints before, I think that was just happenstance. Now I shouldn't have to deal with that shit because this room is touching air.
I wonder though if it's going to be colder in your house.
Yes, but
when I lived in Laurel, because it was the corner house, the house did feel colder.
Oh no, it's absolutely going to be colder. Dawn, like I said, Dawn lives here, and she like warned us about that very thing because she lives between two houses, and it's like in the winter she rarely has to turn her heat on because a person on either side has their heat on.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it is going to be a little bit colder. But again, being in this room, if I'm working, it's generally going to be warmer because of these goddamn lights.
That's true.
So, I mean,
but also
it's
worth it to live on a corner house. Like the only thing better than living on the corner is when the houses are not connected. You know what I'm saying? That's only better because I remember living on that corner. It was better. It was better. Yeah. Now, of course, we're not connected to none of the houses right here, so that's infinitely better, right?
Thanks.
But I remember when we moved from the middle of the block to the corner of the block. Like, it's definitely
and it has two windows but I have blackout curtains. So I can completely control. Like this is actually a window. But I have blackout curtains, so I can completely control the lighting in here.
That's crazy. That's
my god.
Yeah.
And the particular blackout curtains that I have some acoustic qualities. It's just the whole.
For those of you who have never done photography work or videography work, being able to control the light is the holy grail. That is the holy grail of all that shit. I can it's one thing to say I can adjust the light. When you can fully control the light, you feel like Thanos. Like
facts.
You feel like oldenish, like finally. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like it.
Pitch like almost. I still ain't finished. Because what I was, and this is a part of what I said of having that other person there. Because I was explaining to her, the thought process behind it, and she was like, and it's crazy. Even if they aren't really familiar with what's going on, they might still say something that you didn't consider. And that thing, you can use your knowledge and then come to a different conclusion of something. Because she was like, but what if I want to open the window? Because what I was going to do is I was going to steal this off. And she was like, well, what if I want to open the window? And I was like, I could just use Velcro.
Yeah.
It's going to get, because right now, I want to say around the tops and the bottom,
a little bit of light seeps through.
There's no leak on the tops and the bottom, but on the sides there's leak. I could just use Velcro to fix the leak, and I'll still be able to open the window if I want to.
Yep.
So, nigga, it's. Whew.
It's nice. It's nice. So congratulations on your move.
But that part about not having
swimmingly, somewhat.
Well, somewhat, That part about not having to talk to these motherfucking delivery people, nigga.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Also having a backyard that we can do shit in.
That's an upgrade, bro. Yo, I know how you feel because when we got the backyard over here, I was like, yo, we got a backyard.
Right. Nigga, what? What? The way the grill is going to be active. And on top of everything else, the fact that, again, because living with I've lived with the company the past 9 or 10 years between 2 different places before here.
Right.
And the benefits were minimal. Because in the apartment, the 2 apartments that I was in, not only does too many things just don't tend to go wrong,
Right.
but given what I was doing at those times, I didn't really need maintenance for anything. I didn't need help with much types of things. Now that I'm in the townhouse, there are potentially more issues that could pop up.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
But the fact that, like, I'm close with the guy that, like, overall oversees the maintenance and stuff. I'm close with the guy who overall deals with tenant relations. Then I have a relationship with
the dude in the WWE that he was actually Animal of the Road Warriors brother. He used to go, I am
John
look at
Laurinaitis.
his name. I'm John Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
Vice President of
talent relations. Yeah. So I'm cool with them too. I go back with the lead maintenance guy over here. Then the number 2 maintenance guy, I'm cool with.
That's what's up.
Like he came over here yesterday because it was a couple things that was wrong with the unit. Shit! I want to talk about that. Nigga,
the HVAC unit.
No, nigga, the house. Nigga, no, the HVAC is fine. I know you got PTSD.
I'm just saying.
I know you got PTSD. No, the HVAC is fine.
All right.
No, but that, I didn't contemplate this. Is it storming?
Not where I'm at.
Oh, it's not raining, but the clouds are kind of okay. Anyway. So
yeah, it's gotten a little cloudy out there.
Yeah. The sheer amount of things that you don't notice in a quick walkthrough that you absolutely notice when you live in it. Nigga. So when I officially moved in, I went to the rental office and the lady was like, she said something. I was like, yeah, I got a list. She was like, how you got a list? You just moved in. I said, because I got a list. Because I just moved in. That's how the fuck I got a list. I live there now. So I'm experiencing all of the things that the house has to offer. Walking through is not going to do that necessarily.
At least it wasn't like that. Like, yo.
Oh,
I already told you.
Yeah. No. I had to go through that type of shit. But it's like little shit here and there. But the thing is, so I'm like, all right, this one window is difficult to open. All right, we're gonna get you new windows. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this refrigerator, right? This bottom thing, like it's not on it. Oh no, I ordered a new refrigerator. Oh, okay. Yeah, the shower, the knob, and it's a little loose. How the fuck they do that? All right, don't worry, I'll have him here Thursday. Oh, all right. Well, and it's like snap. I'm like, yeah. I'm used to this. Getting all this because a lot of the stuff in the unit is new already. Like new carpet, new paint, new stove, new and for him to I'm like, yo, it's not that big a deal. No, don't worry about it. We get a new one.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm never trying to be the one that's like taking advantage to the nth degree.
No, I feel you with that. I feel you.
But if you're gonna do it,
I'm not gonna turn it down either.
I ain't gonna stop you.
I'm not gonna turn it down.
He's like, well, you want me to go around and check on the windows and make sure they open? Like, nah, you ain't. If you're gonna give me new windows, I ain't no rush. It's still a little chilly outside. I ain't gonna burden you with anything. But if you already about to order these windows, that shit is done. Like, you ain't got Like, no, I ain't gonna hold you up. There's other tenants here that, you know, I know you got other shit to do, right? I ain't gonna be the one to hold you up. But yeah, I'm probably forgetting a bunch of other good things about just the new place and all that shit. But overall, I can say that the horrible part of the process is over. the physical moving and shit.
We're in there now, yeah.
We're in there now. So that's all good. We chilling. She's still running around like a chicken with her head cut off. Not in
boxes.
No, not in house, like her life.
Oh yeah.
So, but outside of that, yeah, we in here.
I think that's probably going to be just a constant anyway. They're running around.
Absolutely, my
wife do the same thing.
I tried to explain that to her, like you have. Like she said, this was like one of the first times where she's had a house where it's like it feels like her house,
right?
Because you know the other house was inherited, and it wasn't necessarily a clean slate. The clean slate aspect of this is probably the biggest.
That's probably the biggest thing. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm happy. I'm happy with how excited she is about it, and it's just it's amazing.
That shit's infectious. Somebody else is excited about some shit, you might have been excited about it.
All facts.
How it is. And you know, it was about time. How long was you living in that other house?
8 years.
Yeah, it was time.
Oh yeah, it was time. Oh no, it was absolutely time. Like literally the only thing that had any type of trepidation or hesitancy was just the fact of moving from the third story. Yeah, that was it. Everything else, I was like, oh no, I can leave now. Like, what
makes sense?
Yeah. All right, y'all know what time it is. It is time for M-I-D-S. All right, so let me see. Let me get a go. Did they change? Okay, no, they didn't change. What the fuck? Okay, this is weird. All right, we're gonna do this one. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, we might be doing some fussing. All right, so first one. Am I the asshole for using my daughter's bathroom? I don't know if ages are necessary here, but I'm 35. My wife is 36. Our daughter is 15. English isn't my first language, so if there are any errors, I apologize. We live in a 3-bedroom house. One of the bedrooms, our daughter's, has its own bathroom, and there's another bathroom downstairs. We wanted our daughter to have her own bathroom because she takes the longest to get ready for school. Shower, washing hair, makeup, etc. Yesterday, I woke up later than usual, and when I went downstairs to use the bathroom to get ready for work, my wife was in there taking a shower. I asked her if I can come in and shave while she was showering, but she told me no, and that I had to wait. I told her I was going to be late, but she told me that it was my fault for not getting up earlier, which yes, it was, but me and my wife had some wine the night before, and I forgot to set my alarm. So I went to my daughter's room to ask her if I could use her bathroom. She was also in her bathroom getting ready, but she told me that I could come in and get ready while she was in there. So I came in, took a quick shower, and shaved and left. But when I came home from work, my wife was angry with me that I used our daughter's bathroom. So I told her I wouldn't have to if she let me use ours while she was in there. We argued for a bit, and my wife has been barely speaking to me since that argument. My daughter thinks her mom is overreacting and that me using her bathroom wasn't a big deal. I honestly don't know if I'm in the wrong here, so am I the asshole for using her bathroom? Hold on, bro.
That's it?
Here's the thing. I felt the way you felt until I saw one part of this. Now, I don't know if this is the English not being their first language thing, or I don't know if this is actually something, but in this last sentence, well, next to the last sentence, my daughter thinks her mom is overreacting.
Oh, that could be.
Right.
It could be, not necessarily, but it could be step parent.
Right.
Yeah, it could be.
Right. That's the only thing I can think of as to
Me
why
too.
that would really be an issue.
Yeah.
And even then,
then though, well, first of all, let me ask you this, ma'am. Let's say he's a stepdad.
mhm.
Who did you marry?
That part.
You feel
That part. See, I don't know, bro. Like I feel like we are missing context that would help.
But it seems like that's missing a lot.
Yeah, but still,
her to be still mad. Like he said, still mad.
Right.
So getting mad in the first place is a little what the fuck, and then being still mad.
Yeah. I
don't know.
Let me see, because overwhelmingly this person has been voted not the asshole. Let me see if there's somebody who gave them the asshole, because just based on
just on what he
said,
I don't see what the
if they're first of all, let me say that a statement I can make with the damn contents that we do have and the context that we do have is, why the fuck you ain't let him use the bathroom with you?
Because I know what I thought was going to happen. I thought she was going to say no because you about to shave and turn the sink. And we turn the sink, the water here in the shower.
Right.
I thought that we was going to hear something like that. But we didn't get an explanation for why. She said, don't come in here. Nigga, y'all married. Like, what you talking about?
Somebody said, you're the asshole for thinking it's okay to use the shower while your teenage daughter is in there. If you had just shaved your beard, then not the asshole, but I get why your wife was feeling pissed.
Wait a minute, what?
Somebody else said
it was shave, right?
No, he showered. Somebody else says, depends. Did your daughter stay in her bathroom while you took your shower? If so, you're the asshole. Completely inappropriate for you to be naked in a room with your 15-year-old daughter. Not that anything happened, but the possibilities of being accused of something are too high. However, if your daughter left her bathroom so that you could take a shower and shave, not the asshole. I admit that's not the way I read it. It sounds to me like she stayed in the bathroom while you showered. I hope I'm wrong. I cannot imagine my father ever coming into a bathroom while I was in there taking a shower or shaving. It definitely sounds... Or shaving?
Not shaving, though. Shaving.
Or shaving?
That's weird. That's weird.
It definitely sounds like your wife was punishing you for sleeping too late. I'm not sure what she was trying to accomplish, but it was a shitty thing to do on her behalf. Well, that I agree with.
Yeah.
100%. The or shaving part?
Yeah, shaving.
The shower thing, I see that.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
I see that too.
Especially, but I feel like this is interesting, right? So I'm split. Because on one hand, I would like to say you asked your daughter and she gave you an answer.
Right.
But on the other hand, I gotta say, I feel like consent is one thing, but when we talk about ages in consent,
15 is not.
Do we extend that outside of things that are sex? Like
that's a good. Well, hold up. To a degree, yes, we do. That's why you have to be 18, signing contracts and shit.
Facts,
right?
So in that case, maybe he was wrong.
He might have been, but it was on the far end of.
Yes. And the other thing about that is, was he supposed to just not shower? Like, I don't understand. Like,
right.
I don't understand why
also, why is the mom still mad?
Right. Like, and here's the other thing. Did something happen that he isn't telling us? Did his daughter, after the fact, say something?
It feels like there's a chunk of the story that's missing.
Yeah.
But I can't add anything to it because I don't have the facts, and I don't like accusing people of shit like that. That's crazy, unless you did it. Did he? But other than that, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, Will. I don't know.
I get the argument for the shower part.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. 100%.
But outside of that, and again, that part's not even clear.
Right. We don't know that she stayed in there while he showered. We don't know that.
Right.
He could have been in there while he was shaving. But what was she
Yeah.
doing? Why wasn't she by the mirror?
Yeah, what was she doing to be like what getting ready? What was she doing? Was she just looking in the mirror at herself? Like,
he needs to look in the mirror and shave.
Doing her makeup. Right. So she couldn't have been doing that. Yeah, what could she have been doing? Brushing her teeth, maybe?
Taking a dump? I hope that's not what was happening.
Well, no, right. I would hope. Like, all right, so to be fair to the wife, if he had said she was taking a dump, I can understand why she wouldn't have wanted to be there at that moment, right? But that's not what he said. So that's why I'm like, why didn't you just let your husband into the bathroom? Here's the thing:
like
if you're going to have a child, and you have this place that only has 2 bathrooms,
right?
It kind of behooves you to share your bathroom with your significant other, right? Because
I don't know too many that don't.
Right. When I was when my parents first got married, we were still living on Lexington Street. There wasn't even 2 bathrooms. There was 1 bathroom. Once we moved to where they live now, there's like 3 or 4 bathrooms. But the point is, I wasn't sharing a bathroom with them.
Right.
At all. Right. So like I have no frame of reference.
So there had to be times when they were in there together, one doing one thing, the other doing another.
You would have to assume.
Like I don't care if my wife comes in the bathroom, I'm showering. Why
right.
do I care about that?
That doesn't make sense. Why would that be an issue? That's a weird.
It's weird, bro. That's just weird.
Okay, and some people are saying, like, not the asshole as long as you didn't undress, shower, and then get out and shave, all while your daughter was currently in the bathroom with you.
Right.
Not the asshole your wife was trying to punish you and you got around her punishment by doing the reasonable thing. See, this is what I'm...
Why is she punished?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Everybody sucks here. You interrupted your daughter's morning because you were too drunk to set your own alarm. If your daughter isn't upset, your wife should let it go. You both suck. I'll accept that one. I'll accept that one.
What's funny to me is you both suck.
I mean, listen.
I don't agree with that.
Listen.
I don't agree with that, though. I don't agree with that.
Yo. Okay. Now, of course, some idiot whose account has been deleted since a day ago. You're a sad man. You have to ask permission from that heifer wife. Imagine if you told her no. Think about that. Red flags for days. Damn, you're a loser. What does that even mean?
All right, so here's the thing. Right?
Yo, wait, no, fuck him. Listen, the house is yours. All of the bathroom are yours. Being respectful is one thing, but you are tiptoeing around your own house for some reason. You're an adult. You pay bills. Use the bathroom. You're the asshole for being so passive.
Yeah,
what?
You say, you tiptoeing, big man. You need to strut.
Like, what the fuck is going on? I'm just...
No. Actually, that comment right there, very common. I've seen similar sentiments. Like, because a lot of... I'll tell you something, bro. Like, for them to be quick to talk shit about feminists and feminism, these motherfuckers be living up to every negative fucking thing that feminists have said. A lot of the times, I'll be seeing motherfuckers say shit online and carry sentiments and stuff online, and I'll be like, "Why ain't you one of the ones that's running around talking about how the feminists are crazy, losing their mind, and they're making shit up,
bro?
You literally doing what the fuck they talking about right there?
Literally making shit up. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna leave that alone. We're going to close that tab and we're going to go to the other one. I'm about an asshole for jokingly telling my sister that she'll make a great housewife. Yikes.
Oh. I don't know. Is it?
33-year-old. I mean, 33-year-old male, have a younger sister, 25-year-old female. Our parents are dangerous people. Wow. Okay. Our parents are dangerous people. So as soon as I was able, I rented out a place so that my sister and I could have somewhere to live. We got out of there when I was 18 and she was 10. I took care of her until she was able to go to college. She is now in graduate school doing very well for herself. Basically, I'm not the most well-organized guy. I mean, of course, I take my job seriously. I work as a paramedic, and I aspire to go to med school soon, and I am responsible for people's safety. But my primary motivation is making a living and breaking the cycle. I don't put too much effort into things like looking presentable or cleaning around the house or whatever. I'm too busy for that. So I admit that while my little sister was growing up, she was more often than not the one who washed the clothes and washed the dishes and cleaned the floors. Even nowadays, she spends her money on nice clothes for me, and whenever she visits my apartment, she scolds me as if I'm a little kid, and she cleans up the mess. It's kind of amusing. So last weekend, my sister visited me, and once again, she rolled up her sleeves and started tidying up the place a little bit while we were chatting. While she was doing that, I jokingly told her that she would make a great housewife and that she should aim to find a job like a flight attendant or something where she could put her neat freak talents to use. My sister was sort of embarrassed when I said this and her face turned red. She went on this whole rant about how this wasn't what she was going to grad school for, and then she entered my bedroom and freaked out when she saw the new clothes she bought for me just laid out all messy on the floor. It was enough that she even started crying. She was so exasperated, and all she could say was, "You're supposed to be an adult. Am I the asshole?" Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are.
You are the asshole.
You are absolutely.
Here's the thing, right? I don't foresee my sister doing something like that. But one thing I will tell y'all about my sister is highly protective of me, even though I'm the older one. She's highly protective of me, right? Particularly now because it's only three of us. It's me, her, my mom now, right? Very. So I could see her coming over. She saw something that she didn't think was right. She gonna say something. She gonna say something. She going because she's protective of me, even in ways outside. Yes, for the record, she will smack the shit out of you for me. She will 100% do that. But it's just not there.
Right,
it's other shit. It's other shit too, right? So I can understand why his sister was that way. She may have been a little overboard or whatever, but I understand why she's that way. The shit he was saying to her was kind of wild, yo. It was kind of wild, yo. Like
what are we talking about? Are you sick? What? You would be a good housewife. What is going on here?
She's doing that because she's protective of you. Not
right.
Because, like you're not really saying it. And then she went to graduate school and you sitting there saying some shit. What the fuck? Yeah, that's kind of crazy, bro. That's kind of crazy.
Why would you say such a thing? I just don't understand. All right, let me see if there's anybody saying that this person is not the asshole. Because, yes, overwhelmingly they got voted as the asshole.
You're an ass. You're an ass.
All right, let me see. Is this going to be the first one without a dissenting opinion?
Wow.
Joe, hold on. I feel like this is half-assing it, but I'm going to read it anyway. So, The housewife comment was rude, sexist, and worth apologizing for. Seems like it's not a big deal compared to the overall dynamic, which is what I'm considering when I say not the asshole. Apologize for the housewife comment. A lot of the replies assume a lot and assume harshly. None of them have picked up on the fact that she scolds OP. That really doesn't track with OP manipulating or bullying her into this role. If he had, in fact, continued the cycle, as some replies assume, she wouldn't dare. If she is in grad school, it is unlikely that she comes to OP's place and cleans regularly, that he depends on or really wants her cleaning and would be better off if it didn't happen. Sounds like it isn't fun for either of you. You don't have to be neat and tidy. Who are any of the people replying here to say you do? You don't have to be an adult, whatever that means. But there is a dynamic here that sucks for both parties, so should probably be ended. Apologize for being rude Ask her to stop cleaning your place when she visits. Tell her that scolding you is not okay. Also, maybe you could both benefit from therapy. Re your abusive parents. I'm not mad at this take.
Me either. But I do have to say this. So he says, one of the things he says is about who says you have to be tidy. And I agree. Nobody says you have to be. But what we're talking about here is a familiar relationship between people that have a history with each other. So it's more nuanced than like it's easy to say. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But they have a relationship that spans many years, and there's relationships that was forged under certain pretense, right? And if he let that pretense go for so fucking long, it's now ingrained in how they relate to one another. So now, the first thing she's going to do is come. Like,
it's what she's going to do,
right? But this is what she's going to do because you kind of allowed it to happen all this time, and maybe at some point you benefited from it, right?
All right. Like, here's one of those examples of somebody going too far. Where is it? Not the asshole. It's funny how people are saying suggesting your sister would be a good housewife is demeaning. Props to all the housewives out there. It's honest, good job. If the story was that the OP sister would be a good IT because he always needs her to fix a computer, there would be no problem. No shit, you dumbass.
Yo, so this is what I mean by the motherfuckers that are obtuse. Just obtuse. You can't like. All right. You got it. It's completely obtuse, bro. You got it. I hate it here.
You don't understand how that is a demeaning statement. If she's clearly okay, not that asshole sounds like a good relationship. Wait, what?
Now that she's crying.
Wait, what? What?
He said, sounds like she cried. So there is some issues going on here, right? So I don't think you can say that sounds like a great relationship. Crying? My sister, trust me, my sister ain't gonna cry. You see something wrong.
Yikes.
My sister not gonna cry. It's not happening.
Yeah, no, okay. All right. Bro, you the asshole for this one. Clearly, both of you. The biggest thing I liked about one of the comments was like, y'all motherfuckers need therapy. And for dealing with what y'all dealt with y'all parents, even having to be in the situation that y'all were in. Just the sheer weight of being raised as a 10-year-old by an 18-year-old. Like,
it's kind of
nigga, like, y'all need.
For those of you who are uninitiated, so I actually had this, I thought I had this conversation about 18. There's a teen there. Listen.
Facts.
This place put the adult standard at 18, I think, for nefarious reasons. I think one of the reasons to fill their military up, right? Because look at what they did. At 18, you can join the military, get a rifle put in your motherfucking hand, and sent over to die in a foreign country, but you can't drink liquor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 18, you're so very much a kid. As someone who has raised 18-year-olds, you're still a kid. Now, culturally, I know there was a time in the past, and even in other cultures, where they're considered older. But we don't live in that culture. And of course, individuality counts for something. But we're talking about the larger number. I've been around 18-year-olds. They're fucking children. They're fucking children, all right?
Yeah.
They're fucking children.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on. That's not.
No, simple. It's what it is.
Yeah.
It's what it is. They're absolutely like
even when they talk about their cognitive functioning and decision-making skills, they say it doesn't really fully develop to 25. What people need to understand is when they say this in science, this is not a carved in stone cut off. Like it doesn't just suddenly
right.
in front of you. So it could be a little bit before, it could be much after, right? Like, but 18, they're definitely kids. Like they're fucking kids. He was just 17. 2 years ago, they were 16. Yeah. Like they're just kids. They're kids, bro. Like they're kids.
No, it's a factual statement. So yeah, that's it.
We want to thank everybody once again for joining us for another rousing edition of the Black Culture Geeks Saturday Morning Cartoon Black. And I want to remind you guys before we leave that this is what we had to deal with back in the day. I don't want to hear.
Okay, all right.
None of that shit.
All right.
But as I was saying, first and foremost, there is always music. Always. There is always music. Old music, new music, upcoming music. Always. Be sure to go to streaming services, even though I hate you guys. Streaming services, I really do. But be sure to go to your streaming services and play our shit. Run them numbers up.
Thanks.
That's it. That's all. Yeah. Also, don't forget to check out my sister, his significant others, Chrissy's Heard It Through the Grapevine podcast. Go check it out. They've been real consistent too. And some of these episodes is funny as fuck. Some of them nasty as fuck. Yeah, but whatever the case.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
That's what too.
That's the risk you run.
Right. I think you'll be entertained either way if you go and check it out. Don't forget to check out Brother Cyrus's Metas and Mutants. He be having my man Hendrick on there all the time and shit. I think Hendrick also just wound up being a co-host on there. I think that was
Facts.
You do that.
Facts.
They just do that. You know what I'm saying? And what else? Oh yeah. Also, if you haven't already, we do have physical copies of issue 1 in our store. Get them before they're gone. And yeah, I think that's it. So for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.